Nice and slow. That's violent.
And it's irrelevant. See, massive metro.
I took sinus meds. That's why I don't take medicine. Oh,
Are you dying?
I'm dying. It's like
You're drowsy.
my life.
Then I almost took it this morning, but I was just like,
No,
not
you know, you heard me saying that I don't take tablets. Because this is what happened when I took tablets. They take over body. Like, literally. I took these things yesterday, afternoon, I slept, but even this morning, I feel like
You should get the non-drowsy ones.
it's the 9 drowsy ones that make me drowsy too. I took text, just like so some.
Oh,
That's-
you're not yes,
Huh?
Yeah, you're not. No.
I took half. I took one tablet.
You're not gonna. That one, literally 5 minutes later, I'm out.
So I need shades. I feel like so groggy. Like I feel like I'm not myself. I think oh, beautiful. Halle. What up, Choof?
What up?
Ouch. I love this song. Why am I?
My arms around you, there's no need to care. We are just ourselves. I could do something. Have this conversation. No lost in this. Don't ask that question. This is my only fear.
Beautiful people. Oh, yeah. This one is not proper, man. I need proper shit. Pero, are you for real? No, it's too cool for my day. Too cool for my day. Okay, Louis. I need your absolute beautiful. Oh, they delivered it.
Goodbye.
It's beautiful people right here on Massive Metro in the morning. It's Ed Sheeran doing his thing. How was your weekend? What did you get up to? So let's go straight to the birthdays. If it's your birthday today, you're celebrating your birthday with quite some important people. So do the right thing and be in your best behavior. Because some important things happened on the day that you're born. Here we go. Woo! Helen Zilekse. Listen to this. Ota Helen Mari, known as Helen Zille, South African politician. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Helen Zille, South African politician, served as a federal council chairperson of the DA since 20th of October in 2019. And 2009 until 2019, she was a premier of the Western Cape for 5 terms. So happy birthday to her. Lutando Shosha, Love, born today in 1989, South African television host and radio personality, best known for co-hosting SABC1's Friday night music show, Live Amp. And of course, she's a mama of hip and hop. It's her birthday as well today. Shed Gregory Moss, born today in 1987, better known by stage name Bow Wow, formerly Lil Bow Wow, American rapper, actor, television host, and a broadcaster, Lil Bow Wow, of course, dropped his first album year 2000 at the age of 13. The rest is history. He's an actor as well right now. So that's that. Those are the birthday messages for today. So if it is your birthday, happy birthday to you. You celebrate your birthday with those folks. It's hashtag Massive Mornings brought to you by Whitbix. So let's take a look at today in history while we're at it. In 1959, Barbie doll makes a debut at the American Toy Fair in New York. Toys from the 1950s, and the doll was designed by Ruth Handler and introduced by Mattel Toy Company. It cost $3 back then. What else happened on this day? In 1997, in the US, the notorious B.I.G. rapper known Christopher Wallace, that is, known as B.I.G., was shot to death in a drive-by shooting while sitting at a stoplight in LA. This matter was thought to be brought upon by a rift between rival rappers from the East Coast and the West Coast. Notorious B.I.G. was killed only a few weeks before his latest album titled Life After Death was scheduled to be released. A similar incident occurred in Las Vegas only 6 months prior, where rapper Tupac Shakur was killed by a drive-by shooter as well. 2005, Michael Jackson's case. The child at the center of the case against Michael Jackson took the witness stand, saying he once considered the pop star being tried for allegedly molesting him, the coolest guy in the world. And of course, we all know that Michael Jackson was later acquitted for that. And what else happened on this day? President Barack Obama ends restrictions on stem cell research, and that's in 2009. U.S. President Barack Obama lifted those restrictions that were placed on finding federal funding for research into new stem cell lines. Obama's executive order was a major reversal of U.S. policy, and he pledged to support the new research. Judge Bush had blocked the use of the government money to fund it. Scientists have said that the research would lead to medical breakthroughs, but religious groups were opposed to the development of embryonic stem cell. Those are the things that happened today in history. So feel free to be in touch with us on 079-940-7992 and let us in on what's going on in your world, because we want to know how your weekend was. What else did you get up to? What caught your attention? We all know now, thus far, 3 people have been identified to have the corona virus, COVID-19, in 2020 here in South Africa this past weekend. And all of them have been to Italy, okay, because Italy has become the epicenter of the epidemic in Europe, okay? So that's just outside of China. So the numbers are going. So the entire weekend was a crazy weekend for South Africans because panic mode is on high level. Twitter is the worst place for you to get the information because all sorts of things are landing on the Twitter streets, and people are running with it, and people are experts of it, and they're asking, what happened? How did people pass through OR Tambo? They didn't really check them. And the students who just came back from China who are in Limpopo, they're like, yo, now they're in Limpopo. This thing must be in Limpopo. Yo, what's happening? This person went to Charlotte McLaughlin. My goodness, it means it's at Charlotte McLaughlin. I mean, really, like, stay off social media if you want to survive coronavirus, because I think you'll just catch it from reading about it based on the madness of what people are saying on Twitter. Because I've been sneezing the whole weekend. Measling alone.
So when does 1 + 1 equal 1?
There's an echo happening.
Like that. Huh?
That's because
There's an
all it takes
echo.
two
I think
good
it's
my
the
speaker.
headphones.
to
Yeah,
make
it is.
one good break.
Oh, gosh.
We need to get masks. You can't risk any sniff, sinus or not. It is in Germany.
Guys, I can take the week off. I have no problem.
It's not about taking the week off. It's about that I've never heard of anyone that has been cured of this thing.
Well, actually, people have been cured of coronavirus.
I just know
This is
people
the
that
information
died.
that I'm talking about. Did you hear the Minister of Health? I mean, really, this thing is treatable. Can you guys just sort of relax?
Like,
Like, can you all just calm
I
down?
just know
even
people that
Obama was
died.
like, guys, just to relax.
Just relax. Just wash your hands.
I'm gonna take
Just tell me
And then
30
I'm quiet.
I'm gonna take the advice.
Bona,
of
was
Mama
another
husband.
Pick and Pay. I can
I
sanitize
can't
that
believe
gone.
it was wrong. Like you said, Galiki is a cheap. And a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
I didn't drink alcohol, but I took lots of chilies.
Why is this? Is
Let
it Bowers
me
version?
play,
Yeah,
let me
'cause
like
it's in
a
the morning, now
happy
playing love songs all day, every
Yeah,
day.
precious on me.
So what? Abanayon.
I thought I made it over YouTube if they don't.
Depends on my next when I come back. I don't know.
And that's also when we saw a different side to Bow Wow. When he became cool, when he moved from kid to cool. It's like when Chris Brown did popping
Yeah.
and wall to wall.
What do they do?
I don't know.
I can't touch my nose.
I don't know.
I'll tap it.
But I don't know. Then that's about what that most right thing whenever I tap on my toe.
But I don't think my tap
Do you know?
Yeah, they just
Do you know men are just disgusting in general because even in a normal toilet they don't wash
they
their
don't
hands.
wash their hands.
Umthamo joko etsa o khutlela tafoleng ya Germany tsa o populetsa. Wow.
Nna ke a jwetsa, I'm not gonna matsoho. Yeah, wash your hands, dude.
I remember this other guy he actually did a thread on Twitter where he went and he sat in the loo to count how many men were washing hands, and he said out of the 15 people, only 2.
They don't wash their hands, y'all.
They just mad. They ain't get your thing, but you Scorpio. It's your sign, and boy, you're so fine.
Is it true? Yeah, that's actually.
Come on.
Yeah, what? You didn't know? Yeah, no, that thing has been
Because I
known
saw her ring
No,
Apara
it-
for
that thing,
quite some time.
this thing has
Oh,
been
no, but
around
it's
for a while.
long.
Long. Actually, I just can I get about 6 million?
Oh, Zima.
What's that? Ili?
6 million.
6 million.
Yeah,
But I
no.
don't think we're talking about the same thing.
We're talking about the same
Same thing.
The hand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh. No, but what are you talking about? It.
the settlement.
Oh no, not you that settlement. I just knew that they split it long time ago.
Yeah.
That's all I can do right
Like
now.
yo,
Just
like long.
Yeah, that's the dance. It was the other
like
song.
back in the day.
Darling, there's nothing that speaks like a PR, like a PR person and a gay
These
person.
kinds of hugging.
Those two people, Kenja Hafar. Yes, yes.
Which PR person gave you information?
No, the thing is, I can really assume everyone is PR on their table because no one knows me yet.
Huh?
I think no one knows me yet, so they don't know what I do. So I'm just
Oh.
sitting at the table and they just speak as PR people. Like what's going on?
Oh.
What's funny? This
And I'm
story is
there.
about page 5.
Yep.
Sunday
Page
well.
25.
5.
It's fine.
Hey.
Oh, say, yeah, no, no, it's Bonnie, but also if we let it also.
Two song tau. That's two.
Hey.
When today,
Yeah.
guys, is it confirmed? But some coffee area how in Kham Natura.
Get gold. Get coffee gold.
Huh?
Get gold.
Okay, cool. All right, it's Bow Wow. It's his birthday alongside Omarion right here on Massive Metro in the morning. Woo! Okay. How was the Naviek? What was your weekend like? What did you get up to? Feel free to share with us. Hashtag Massive Morning in the morning, brought to you by Whitbix, of course, for making sure that we're keeping you energized this morning. We're filling you up with goodness, and that's exactly what we plan to do. So we gave you today in history, and we've already touched on the birthday. Still to come on the show is the Kids' Choice, song choice coming through at 6:35. But right now, we're going to take a look at your newspapers. So since it's a Monday, it's a reflective Monday. In your newspaper's front page, Zwelithini withdraws Trevor's award. I don't know. Zwelithini and Trevor Noah, something is up. So the way they're having a thing, but this thing is not coming together. The story is in the page 7 of the Sunday World. Okay, so apparently now that award is going to go to Charlize Theron. The King and Charlize Theron have had a long-lasting relationship, especially since he started doing charity work. She started doing charity work in KZN. So they're just waiting for her to indicate if she'll be able to take the award in person or shall they send it to her. That's that. So Bayeta Foundation CEO Rona Naika said it will release an official statement on its decision about Noah's nomination. Okay. Noah failed to respond to numerous emails sent to him and his team asking him to avail himself to accept a humanitarian award by the king during his event, which will be held later this year. Ooh la la. That's what it is. That's the story. What else was in the newspapers? Hitman for Uzalo actor Inkabi break into Tabani Nzuza's home. They murdered his friend when they didn't find him. But Tanya Fela, weekend newspaper. Ex-minister's cheating ways too much for his wife. Divorce in the political circle. Somebody, when they, it's one of those stories that you read and you say, but we know who these people are. Why don't you just put their names on? Because once it's in court, guys, it's in the public domain. But unless if they requested that the information should be put out there. So it's one of those. We'll definitely see how it goes. So the Sowetan today, coronavirus is here. We are not feeling safe. No need for masks in Kiza. Guys, it's like, oh my God. So are we supposed to be wearing these masks as well, or what's going on? I must say, guys, I looked for the masks today. I wanted to buy them. I wanted to come to the studio wearing them, and the masks are sold out at most pharmacies. So sorry for us. Hawks are hounding me. Sam goes missing. Send suicide note. Warrant of arrest issued against controversial businessman after he missed date with court. The Sam Shabalala guy is so dramatic. Yo, guys, the drama. So now he's threatening to kill himself. We'll have to wait and see. Vain attempt by aunt to save drowning children. This is a dam in Limpopo, in Maunatala village in Limpopo. An aunt has told of how she jumped into a dam to retrieve the bodies of her nephew and niece and trying to resuscitate them after they drowned while apparently swimming. After hours of searching for her 5-year-old nephew, the boy's body was found at the bed of the dam, stuck in the mud. Ooh, the aunt told Sowetan yesterday. Tabiseng Libya continued to playing Java's music. Muso's song remained on top. SABC will continue to place Java's music on its various radio and television stations uninterrupted amid allegations of rape. The public broadcaster has told Sowetan it will first let the law take its course in Java's case before it reaches a decision over boycotting his music. Okay. Are they already discussing boycotting the guy's music? Yo, it's hectic. Women empowered to have access and be owners of land. A.B. Kuma reburied at his village. Women from Etobo in the Eastern Cape will now have access and become owners of land that is part of the government to breathe new life into rural economy. This was announced by the president at the reburial of Dr. Alfred Batini Kuma in his hometown, of Mazana Ngobo district village. There you have it. It is massive metro in the morning. Okay, great stuff. So we're gonna get into the news at 6:30, and we'll not be having a Disky update this Monday. We'll find out what's going on with traffic as well, and then we will continue with the Kiddies Choice song that will be coming through at 6:35. Tshwane DA defies Makura. Councillor call to elect new mayor. Gauteng Cooperative Governance MEC Lebogang Maile has labeled Tshwane's Metro's move to elect a new mayor tomorrow as a futile exercise. I'm telling you, is war. We'll have to see how all of that goes. Good morning, Zanele.
Good morning, Penny.
I'm good. And yourself?
I am.
You're well. I was looking for a mask to wear this weekend, but I can't find it. Mask not crucial at the moment. That's what the Olympians are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody believes or trusts anything that's coming out of government. Everybody, well, people on Twitter. I mean, generally people believe. But people on Twitter are like, but they said they gonna protect us at the airport. Now these people, they didn't check them. And now they want to wear the masks.
Yeah, and they even went to the borders to be closed.
But they want the borders to be closed. Like, how does that work?
And then
What else do they
Mr.
want?
Mkhize, no, he says, no.
Can you all come down?
Can you all come down?
That's what
It's
he
not
said.
as bad as it seems.
Yeah. What do you think? Should we all come down? Did you go to KZN this weekend? Because if you went, you need to go to the studio.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
But yeah, I would go to KZN.
Okay, that's fine.
Because now like Gauteng economy is so like
Yeah, they're fine.
yeah.
All
it's,
right.
It's one of those.
And Mina, I've been sneezing.
Oh my God. sakhuluma nge-coronavirus bathatha abantu asebika ukuthi-ke banelisifo eNingizimu Afrika kanti-ke ungqongqoshe wezempilo uDr Zweli Mkhize uthi phatha uphinde laqhubeka kulandela kokudutshulwa kwabantu abasithu bekhayelitsha eKapa benisazosina nje ejikayo so nobumbane lesikhombisa ifana kubena lezinto.
Good morning, Bra Jerry. How are you this morning?
But I mean, I am fine, but now you're making what you say to
Bra Jerry, I think you should be under quarantine. Self-quarantine. I'm gonna be Oh, because the love and peace people lost. and they lost a lousy team.
You know what?
Okay. All right, Brad Jerry. I'm happy for you. Let's find out what's going on in traffic this morning.
Good morning to my Metro.
Yo, Brad Jerry, and the soccer people.
Back on the N12 sorry, and what is the change that you saw? Okay, right off Chateau and Colibri Road, Rattle Range, Poison Road, and Main Road. On the area, Bumpers, Barbara, Children, and Road, Barbara, on Sunday.
Hey, my dad.
I was sneezing. Like, the person sneezed the first time. No, I sneezed the second time.
Yes, my darling.
Hi, man. Are coronavirus?
Did you finish that movie? You slept, man? I did finish it. What happened? I don't remember.
You were Nabantana Nama.
Did you see the baby get born?
Yeah, in the car. I did finish the movie.
With one eye or two eyes? Who's getting married next?
So the girl I saw. Wait.
She gave birth in the
Gave
car.
birth in the car.
Yeah, that guy I delivered them one.
Yeah.
And they named the kid after me.
Oh, hey, what's his name? Terrence Sassao is getting married. I did finish it. Oh gosh. Because
Now do you get why I said there's gonna be another one?
Yeah. Terrence is getting married. Oh, I did watch it. Yeah, I did finish
He
it.
has to get married to Shelby. That's the only way, and then they stop making them. He has to. Because him and Shelby, if you remember in the first movie, they ended up in bed.
Whose child is that?
Shelby, I think, has been married 5 times. Alimony, remember?
Sam goes missing.
So they ended up in bed the first time around because remember he bought the gutter and she bought the flowers.
Yeah.
In the second one, they bonded with the kid.
Yeah.
Remember?
I think
And they have that back and forth like she's basically hard, she can get it. They always have this thing.
But I don't know. Damn it.
They've had lives after the first one.
What? I saw this, but I didn't listen. I saw this video, but I didn't understand what's going on. No, guys. Why did I have to take tablets? Guys, I feel like I'm drugged. I am drugged.
Listen, AKA was a mood.
Dude, yeah.
I fucking love him.
Imagine me teaching while I'm having sex.
Okay, I gotta go now. My girlfriend is up. It's been great. He left.
He's not okay, that
He
guy.
never tweeted again. The next time he tweeted was about Man United. And
Yeah.
he really left.
I saw a tweet where they posted a pic of him and Casper, that old one. When
Yeah, bro. And then he said,
and look how choking
him. They're like, so did you really swear at his mother? And if so, what did you say? I'm a massive puss.
He's not okay, man. When I come, he's over here.
Yes. Entertainment. Die. Yes. What would we do without the AKA?
No,
When it gets for Hannah Moyane, I replied to that tweet where he said, you guys are taking business advice from janitors and barmen.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that's how AKA started basically trending.
Yes.
Because he said, how dare you take advice from those type of people? And then Igwe started attacking him. They can stop playing them more.
Sure. Okay.
Mm.
Oh, Aka.
You're late.
That guy's a lot.
That's how then people started talking about Casper because he had replied to that thing. And then they started asking him about Casper.
Okay, guys. Also interacting with you and stuff. My hand just woke
Also,
up.
like,
Catch you
these kids,
later,
I feel like they
alligator.
always like requesting the same songs.
Mm.
Woo!
Specifically.
Okay, there you have it. It's the song from the children. Can the parents stop playing on my piano, guys? Because this is what the kids are doing now. Well, everything that you guys do as adults, you know how they are. They don't do what you say they do, what they see. It's Massive Metro in the morning. That's our song choice for this Monday, chosen by the kids. You can choose your song at 7:30. All you have to do is send us a voice note on 0749407992. We would like to know what song speaks to you. Okay, so coming through in a short while, we're going to catch up with Bra Victor, being a Monday Africa Rising. We're going to get into a conversation of what's going on the continent. South Africa appoints Okonjo Iweala, member of the Economic Advisory Council, and so we're going to be looking into that. Nigeria overtakes South Africa as Africa's largest leading economy. You know how that goes. It's like they're in a race constantly, and then one goes first, and then one goes to the back, and it's that thing. Another one that we're going to look at is trouble as Egypt's ally, U.S. President Trump, dives into the dispute over Ethiopia's now mega dam. Wait, Kenyanji. That man, he's just putting himself in the mix. Lord knows why he be doing that. That's how it is. Is this for now? 7:40?
6:40.
Okay. So it's a Massive Metro in the morning. So we did look at your birthdays. We told you about today in history. You know that it is International Women's Month. Yesterday, of course, was International Women's Day. Each for equal, equal for each. That's how it is. That's the theme that we have been jumping on the whole weekend, the whole month. So today is the 9th. Of course, the 8th, which was yesterday, International Women's Day. International Women's Day annually held on the 8th of March to celebrate women's achievement throughout history across its nations. It's also as the United Nations Day for Women's Rights and International Peace. Well, firstly, it was never theirs. It actually came from the socialist movement, and it comes from the working class. Okay, that's where it started from, and eventually the United Nations adopted the day. And as of 1975, it became, a global day of some sort. So the first International Women's Day occurred in 1919. The event included rallies, organized meetings with big success in places like Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. The March 19th date was chosen because it commemorated the day that Prussian king promised to introduce votes for women in 1848. The promise gave hope for equality, but it was a promise that he failed to keep. The International Women's Day date was moved to the 8th of March in 1913. And the marches of 1913, women took to the streets, even our very own here in South Africa. Charlotte Maxeke comes to mind because she was part of the people who organized marches in 1913. Land being a big conversation, to access to land, ownership, voting. Just imagine, you were not even allowed to do anything for yourself. Women of today would lose their minds. Totally like, what? So it would be hectic. So back then, they were not allowed to do a thing. They would just sit at home and watch the children, or make the children, things like that.
Is what you've missed.
The universe is abundant. The wonderful thing with God and nature.
Hey, but when they were calling out
What's
EFF.
up with the Italians, bro? Like, so India has reported 5 cases of corona, right?
Yeah.
Which means now they've had a total of 40 cases. Out of those 40 cases, 14 are Italians.
It's because they were in Italy.
Like,
in fruit.
so
God says
if I can understand the connection, that's why I feel
It's the epicenter of it. Abathathu matsogo.
and
And
that's
that's
a
a
tree. And truly, it's an
Very
education from God to us that there's always a
So what's
you
our
know, we were living with an Italian child from like as an exchange program.
Stand back with library. Hi, I'm Theo Baloyi, founder of Africa's premium sneaker brand Party. Massive morning to the Penny Gun.
Whitbix is giving our Massive Metro listeners an opportunity to win an airtime vouchers worth 250 rand to fill up your phone. To stand a chance to win, send us a message or image of you energized by Whitbix, whether it's getting ready for work, studying, or taking care of your family. What is Whitbix keeping you full and energized for? Send your entry to our social media pages at Massive Metro and send it via WhatsApp on 087-152-0887 with the hashtag fill up with goodness. Remember, terms and conditions do apply. Hey, Vanna.
Sarah, so firstly, like the cultural differences insane. She was supposed to be with us for 6 months. She left within 2 months. She couldn't cope. Firstly, she hated that South Africans always touch each other. She doesn't understand why we hug and like it doesn't make fucking sense to her. Like, don't touch me. That's like, whoa, invasion of privacy, right? But also you must understand the context is majority of us here are black. So that's where it's stemming from because Italians touch. So
And they do.
She had an issue with black people touching her, but she wasn't gonna say that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You live in my house. I'm black. My mom is black. You know, definitely more black than me. Just in complexion. I'm not even going in cultural experiences or whatever.
Yeah.
Then she's like 16, but at home when they have dinner, they have wine with dinner. That's illegal in South Africa to give a minor alcohol. But
Yeah.
I'm 28 and my mom ain't never seen me drink wine. There's that as well. The black culture, even if she was over age,
Hey.
my mom doesn't drink. You expecting her to give you dinner?
Kawaii.
Because it's culture where you come from, you know. Then there's just also how we eat versus how they eat. You know, they eat gang tuna versus you know, we eat more meat than.
Yeah.
She just was not adjusting at all, and she wrote a whole letter to like the agency and to my mom and to say like it's a really nice family and I like it and I enjoy them, but that's the only thing I'm enjoying them. And she has a really pretty daughter. Like she wrote like a kid would write, you know, like, and we get along, we text all the time even though she's raised in a different because I was here in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
But I really would like to go home because everything else is just super unpleasant for me. She also wanted to be out at night, you know, like my mom would accompany her to the cinema, like for her she wants to do that alone, but my mom can't because should something happen to her,
Your mom is responsible.
Yes. She also doesn't know the area, so that's what my mom. It's not like my mom was trying to suffocate her. It's just you're not from here,
And you're married. Yeah.
Easily they could say you were running the syndicate. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what my mom was just guarding against stuff like that. And just in general, she has a personality similar to mine. She doesn't like people. So my mom was always trying to organize play dates for us, movie and stuff. It just was not a thing for her. She had to go home. She was crying every night. She didn't like bathing.
All right. Call it a gathering of the elders there. Cecilia Ivora with Oliver Mtukuzi on Massive Metro in the morning. It's called Africa Nosa, which simply means our Africa. It's time for us to get into a conversation with Victor Khomeswana on the line, and he's going to give us an insight on what's happening on the rest of the continent. Okay, so some of the stories we're going to look at in response to South Africa's economic challenges, which recently slumped into its second recession in 2 years. President Cyril Ramaphosa has expanded the country's Economic Advisory Council with the appointment of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as a member. Oh my God. I don't know how South Africans are going to respond to this one. But Bra Victor is on the line to give me some insights on that. Good morning, Bra Vic. Hello. Okay, seems like we're struggling, but we're gonna try and find him on the line. So Ngozi Okonjo Luwela being appointed to be part of Cyril Ramaphosa's Economic Advisory Council. So I don't know, but let's listen in and hear how that is going to pan out. So we're trying to get a hold of Bra Victor. Now, speaking at this meeting of the council, now as an advisory council, you have to set the agenda for this meeting yourself. You have identified various issues that you want to address on us, amongst others. And so, Nkonjo on Twitter, who is the board chairperson of Gavi, a public-private global health partnership committed to increasing access to immunization in poor countries, with President Ramaphosa, members of cabinet, and members of the Presidential Economy and Advisory Council in Pretoria, discussing sources of growth for the South African economy and a win-win interaction for the continent. Okay, Victor is back on the line. Hello, Bra Vic. Hello. Okay, guys, I feel sabotaged. I don't understand. Bra Victor, are you there? Okay, he's definitely not on the line. Okay. All right, how are we gonna do this? All I can tell you is that I'm gonna leave it at that and keep it moving and take it to another story. So another story is Nigeria overtakes South Africa as Africa's largest economy. Nigeria has overtaken South Africa as the continent's largest economy. A report by Bloomberg has shown Nigeria's re-emergence as Africa's biggest economy follows South Africa's slump into the second recession in 2 years. A severe rolling power blackout frustrates President Cyril Ramaphosa attempt to revive growth. Guys, you know, they don't even have consistent power in Nigeria as much as you guys have, but that's that. They're just doing other things that we're not doing. Maybe this whole thing of Ramaphosa appointing the Okonjo Luwela as a member of his council might help. It might just give you some tips of how Nigeria is doing things. It could lead us somewhere. Now, the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, welcomed Nigeria's new economic dominance status, which is attributed to the policies of President Muhammadu Buhari's led administration to stimulate growth. Are we winning? Okay, it's a little bit shaky. South Africa's economy contracted 1.4% in the fourth quarter in 2019, according to the official statistics released on Tuesday, far outpacing analysts' focus of 0.2% decline. Bra Vic, are you on the line? Hello, Bra Victor? Okay, well, he was on the line. Something happened. Nike Bonabuloi, that's all I can say. The latest gross domestic product figures released by Stats SA show that the economy contracted by 1.4% in the fourth quarter of 2019, which followed a contraction of 0.8%. So we all know what happened. So what I'm trying to understand is how is Nigeria's economy growing while ours is shrinking? Nigeria's economic growth beat focused in the fourth quarter, helping its economy to expand the most in 4 years in 2019, as oil output increased and the central bank took steps to boost credit growth. Okay, so GDP in the West African country stood at 476 billion or 402 billion, depending on the rate used. South Africa's economy went in the opposite direction. Is he on the line? No, he's not on the line. So on the other hand, so we know what happened in South Africa. Projections show that Nigeria's economy will continue to grow faster than South Africa, while the International Monetary Fund cut its focus for Nigeria's 2020 growth to 2% from 2.5% last month. Due to lower oil prices, South Africa's GDP focused to expand only 0.8%, they said. So we'll just have to watch that. Let's just pretend it's like playing soccer. You know, they have a stronger team at the moment. You know, they have a few international players on the lineup and you know, on the field, and they just getting there. We will also get there at some point. That's that. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Bra Victor on the line, but it gives you a sense of what's going on Africa Rising this morning.
On Massive
Like I said,
Dot Bet,
I
where you will
I don't
find excellent
understand
odds
why.
on local football, lotto, lucky numbers, and everything
Well,
in
it's
between.
tempting.
Visit our website, massive.bet. Register and you'll be betting in
What else
seconds.
can I
Be
say?
sure to listen to
Yo!
Massive.bet on
I'm
Massive
glad I
Bet
took
Show
that
weekdays
medication
from
still
12
though, because
noon
I
to
would
1
be
p.m.
blocked
and
this
get
morning.
tips from Crystal
My
Fogel and
sinuses.
Gulegon Gill and all our guests ahead of each round of fixtures. Massive.bet is the licensed operator, licensed by the Gauteng Gambling Board, license number KRU-004. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. National Responsible Gambling Program. Toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Dr. Maniki Malabo and Dr. Richie Achuku bring you nourishment for the soul every week with Sunday Circle Live on Massive Metro. Download the Massive Metro app on Google Play and the Apple App Store and listen in from 9 to 12 p.m. for ministry, motivation, and a whole lot of Massive every Sunday. The show crosses over to Dr. Richie's The Wisdom Center to play live
okay.
with weekly Sunday service.
Yeah, that's why.
Hours of soul every Sunday on Massive Metro with Sunday Circle Live from 9 to 12 p.m. Massive Metro. See how about see you there.
Be real to yourself and find the time to dream.
Okay, no stress. Oh, okay. Okay, cool stuff. Shop. Victor, because he has so many numbers. So usually I call him on the 065 number. He has an 067, 065. So this morning, can we call for another number FM at 065? I'm not sure. So that's why I'm busy calling the 065 number. So he's only saying now that it's his son's number. And I'm like, but I asked you.
No, that's out of order.
How about Sumisa has a whole song dedicated to him?
Yeah, you don't know.
No.
Yeah, Kelly wrote a song. Well, they wrote it together. And I think wasn't it part of his wedding?
Homeboy has to leave it after 7.
Two other things. That's a TV thing.
What's the TV thing where?
You said after 7 has to.
So if he comes at 7, what's the next? So it's 2 links only. It's 10 past, it's 20 past. Unless if we drop something. No, I'll just put it in.
I'm going to say you.
Okay.
What about you?
Handling.
I'm like, why am I so cool? I'm Monday.
What's his problem?
Because I little bit about you. You say something. Hey, I'm just
Like, when parents are extra, guys, like, that's what they are. I'm not sure to say that. That's probably what my mom would have said. Look at that skin. My mom was like that as well.
So you need to start belly down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately after the news.
it's only on Facebook.
Yeah, try finding his Twitter like that. The one account.
It's like a fan page.
Yeah, not so too. Go ahead, you can unsubscribe. No, the girl has a new gym. Yes, gym. He launched gym.
Oh yeah.
What a nice song.
Gadala, this is not some easy song though. It's just her own song. Just as a song
The
called
one
Somizi
song,
Song.
Yasomizi, I'll never forget.
Okay, what did you guys do? Did you not post Chuso on Massive's page? All right, it's Massive Metro in the morning. Somizi, it's a song by Kelly Kumalo. This morning brings us to 3 minutes to go before the hour 7 o'clock. On the other side of 7 o'clock, we spend time with a radio legend, with an elder in broadcasting, the one who is loved. People tune in every Sunday on Motoring on Lesedi FM. Goodness, did I just go Tswana on you? On Lesedi FM, Tusom Dawung is going to be here, and then he's going to be chatting to us for a short while about his life and things that he is up to. Okay, so let's go and have our Black History moment. That's how it is in our Black History moment. Since yesterday was International Women's Day, female African president. Who is the first female president in Africa? How many female presidents has the continent had thus far? This is one of the many unknown great stories of African women. In fact, the narrative we hear often is negative, portraying African women's struggle, never of triumph. Okay, so there you have it. Now, very interesting names. Sylvia Kaningi, in 1993, okay, first female president in Africa was Sylvie Slavy Kaningi. She was the prime minister of Burundi from February 10th, 1993 to October 7, 1997. During this period, she served as the acting president for the country from October 27, 1993 to February 5th, 1994, when the incumbent president, Melchior Ndadaye, was shot together with his 6 officials. After his death, Kaningi gathered 15 ministers to continue to govern the country, thus technically making her the first female president of the continent. And then Ivy Matsepe-Cassaburi, acting president for South Africa in 2005. Ivy Matsepe-Cassaburi also served temporarily as the acting president of South Africa when the president and his vice president were out of the country for 4 days in September 2005. She was also selected by the cabinet to serve as a constitutional and official head of state for an interim period of 14 hours on September 25 in 2008. And then, of course, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, president of Liberia from 2006 to 2018. Ellen Sirleaf is Africa's first elected president who served 2 consecutive terms after winning 2005 and 2011 presidential elections. She had initially run for presidential office in 1997 against Charles Taylor, but she lost. During her tenure, she also elected chair of the Economic Community of West African States in June of 2016. Sahle Work as the president of Ethiopia. Can't be. Is he female? Nyasropa. Nyala. Never. Those are the only ones I'm leaving it at. Okay, so there's a president and a prime minister in Ethiopia. Because what's that hot guy's job? If there's a female in charge. Is that
if that guy is a prime minister, then she's the president. But I need to know, do they have both? It is news time, Zanel is here. Are you with me, Zanel? You're with me, no?
Mm-hmm.
That cute guy, what's his job? Is he a president or is he a president? The one from the light-skinned one who was jamming with Cyril in a car, driving from the airport.
President.
What this guy's job is? Is he the president?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, they want to make me the girl who doesn't know what's going on the continent. I refuse. Anyway, the tall, good-looking one. It's news time.
Every hour on an hour with Zanele Shalala.
Ibumbene ihora lesikhombisa kanti izindaba nezifundela uzanele intombi abashabalala okuyizona ezihamba phambili kuleli hora sebebathatha abantu abukeka ukuthi bane-coronavirus lapha eMzansi. Mlaleli sawubona. Ungqongqoshe wezempilo uDr Zweli Mkhize uthi angeke kube ngomqondo omuhle ukuvala imingcele yesifundazwe ukugwema ukubhebhetheka kwegciwane i-corona lapha eNingizimu Afrika. Lokhu-ke kulandela ukutholakala kwabantu abathathu benalesi sifo kuleli. Umlisa kanye-ke nonkosikazi wakhe batholakala esifundazweni eKwaZulu-Natal emva kokubuya-ke kwabo e-Italy. Kwathi omunye-ke umuntu kutholakala ukuthi-ke bekade esondelene nalo mlisa noma-ke nalaba ababili watholakala esifundazweni eGauteng. UBhubhela uthi isibalo sabantu abatheleleke ngalesi sifo asikho phezulu kakhulu ukuthi-ke nokuthi-ke sekungavala umngcele. Ekhuluma-ke nezakhamuzi eMgungundlovu esifundazweni eKwaZulu-Natal uthe
sesibaqoqe bonke
So
abantu
there's the Prime
ababethintene nabo
Minister and the female.
noma ngabe
president.
usebenza
that's what I
khona
wanted to know.
usebenza
Because I wasn't
ekhishini siyakubala noma ngabe
She's the
usebenza
president
engadini
She's the
siyakubala
Prime Minister.
uma ngabe uvamise ukuvakasha khona niye kohlala khona niphuza amatiye siyakubala kulaba abebehambile babe u-10 u-9 sesikhulumile nabo ngoba lo munye ubesegula sesihambe sawubuka ukuthi bapha abantu ababehlezi eduze kwakhe ebhanoyini afika ngale vele eDubai sesiwathole bonke ngalesi sifo akusho ukuthi wonke umuntu one-coronavirus uyashona cha.
uphiko lwamaphoyisa esifundazweni eNorth West eqinisekisile ukuthi uphenyo lwamaphoyisa kulidokode elivuliwe mayelana nensolo zokuminza nokushona kuka-Enoch Mpiyanzi sekuthuliwe. uMpiyanzi oneminyaka engu-13 ubudala ushone ngenkathi isikole iParktown Boys High eGoli senze ikhempu ukwamukela kwabafundi kwenye yendawo eGreater North West ngoJanuwari kulo nyaka. Somlomo wamaphoyisa uAdel Maybeck uthi-ke leli dokodo lizondluliselwa eMnyangweni wezoBulungiswa ukuze uzothatha isinqumo. Uphenyo luqhubeka kulandela ukubulawa kwabantu abasithupha kwalimala abayisikhombisa endaweni yokucima ukoma eKhayelitsha eKapa. Ngokombiko labantu-ke badutshulwe babulawa eSide B ngempelasonto kwashona abantu-ke abahlanu endaweni yesigameko kwathi omunye washonela esibhedlela. Usomlomo wamaphoyisa uNovela Potelwa uthi-ke kusolakala ukuthi liqeqebana lamadoda livele langena lakhuludela leya ndawo langakuza lutho lavulela ngenhlamvu libhekise kubo bonke abantu bebengaphakathi. Imbangela lokudubula yaziwa kodwa uphenyo luyaqhubeka. Sengiphethe amaphoyisa afuna umama wosana olutholakale lushonile lulahlwe e-Upton. Ngokombiko lolu sana lwentombazane etholakale lugoqwe ngengubo lulahliwe. Amaphoyisa athi okwamanje athungathe umenzi wokubi. Somlomo wamaphoyisa uCaptain Fred van Wyk uthi-ke kuzokwenziwa-ke uhlelo sidumbu ukuthola ukuthi-ke lolu sana lubulawe yini. Ake sibheke sesimangele. Irandi lingu-15.81 maqhathaniswa nedola laseMelika lingu-20.70. Uponda waseBrithani lingu-17.96. I-euro igolide lona lingu-$1,674.19. I-ounce platinum $904. Bese kuthi uwayini ongahluziwe uba ngu-$43.38. Umphongolo masibheka amazinga namhlanje eGoli ngu-28, ePitoli 31, bese kuthi eSibhileni kube ngu-30. Mlalelo uma ngabe sengiziphethe zaleli hora ake ngikukhumbuze kwezona ebengihamba ngazo phambili. Bathathu kwabantu okubuka ukuthi-ke banesifo coronavirus eNingizimu Afrika. Siyakhuqeza leli hora ukuthi-ke magama ngabe singabuya nefunqa. That's Massive Morning.
Metro News every hour on the hour.
Uma kukhona okwenzeka la uhlala khona ufuna ukuthi ithimba le-Massive News lazi kabanzi ngakho ungasithumela umlayezo nge-WhatsApp ku-076 472 7700 noma-ke kwi-email ethi news@massivemetro.com. Massive Metro, sihamba phansi.
Massive Mornings is serving up weekdays. #fill up with goodness with Weekbix.
Okay.
Done with the
What?
He's coming to the thing set up. So put on a mask for one.
Oh, you're feeling the pressure? Yeah, kiyawubona. Dumelang tate. Teng le kae?
Very good. Coffee microphone. Oh,
Ka mona.
one pizza was saying came here.
How? How to sing that?
Lemodini.
38 years behind microphone. It's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah, right. Yeah, guys.
What's so far language? Penny, Kawaka Bona, answer of what do you want from me, my girl? What's wrong?
I want to chat with you. Push up.
Gam-
Go palit po
Hey, Linale Rooibos tea.
Rooibos tea mo nan. Bana ba tsa blomo bana ba tla witse a ba ema ene. Bana. Ya ba.
What's up, Bloemfontein?
Bana. Ba tsa blomo ba o bana ba hona jwale ka kgola ba fonetse bo mme ya bona.
I go Bloemfontein.
Yeah. Ba le tsentse hai ba tsetsa tsingla ka leno ka studio hona le tate thuso mtau.
Penny, who's your man?
Ke teng le kae?
Got talented, Kanaka. Oh, you are so talented here.
Ke le wahle.
And without listening to you on Metro, watch you on television. But talented, yeah, I forget it.
Ya fukutse. Ya tau. It's how like
Mosebetsi o Penny, ke mosebetsi wa talented. This is not easy.
It's not easy.
To sit behind the microphone alone, it's not easy. It's just not easy. No, Penny, young warrior all the time. It's a very good question. To be a policeman, you must be trained. To be a nurse, you go through training. But mosebetsi ona wa rona o re o etsang this trip ena e hlokolotsi ya kana.
Yo, chocolate ke le le holo le.
Yeah, correct. Sensitive.
Yeah.
Microphone could if it does too now.
Very dangerous, man.
Microphone is very dangerous. You went to South Africa because you're rich. But we don't see. People just come behind the microphone. Behind the microphone. And yeah, some
It's Massive Metro in the morning, 8 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock. Welcome to it if you just joined us. I'm so looking forward to the next few minutes. Doesn't matter how long I spend time with him, it's just that I'm spending time with him. So I think like I should know Shebana, let's I get to blama o tshwana le bana ba tletseng ka studio ka mona empa le nna he puo ya Sotho ke a utlwisisa ntate thuso mtaung o teng ka ga ntudumela
ke le bo mme dumela mme wa
le ka
ke a phela mme na
ha ke soka ke dila le ntate thuso mtaung ke mo shebile ka mahlong go bua
ke le bo
mic to mic
ke le bo
ke le bo he mosebetsi o makgetho ntse o etsa radio o 38 years
38 years 38 years
o no o le o ruta bana sekolo
ke ne ke le teacher ke teacher ke kene mane kwa eke ke ile ka ba sekolong sa teacher sa Bonamela wa tswa kana kwa ne fitileng no etsa mesebetsi e mmedi e meraro e ne ile o ya teachering o ya boponiseng kapa o ile ba nurse
okay wena wa kgetha teacher
fela ka kgetha teacher
no ruta bana eng sekolo
history Africans
okay
o tswe gore kana ku no Africans ne ile yona ke ruta Sesotho
okay
wa tswa kana ku no batho ne ba lokela go rata gore puo ya hao ne le ntho go hlokwa ka tsela makatsang gobane ke yona identity ya
hao o no ruta di subject tse hlwahlwa hampe tse bohlokwa mo bophelong English very very important. I mean Afrikaans very important because no tsamaya tse bona batho ba ga hateletseng ke bo mang go etsahalang ka bona
no lokela o tsebe puo ya bona wena e re go bolelle wena phanyane fela ntate wa ka was a principal empa e ne le principala Roma dikolong tsena tsa Roma o la kenya sekolo ke Maroma go no le boima he hore a tlo sebetsa dikolong tsena tsa ka mona ka nako eno e ne ile tsa mmuso jale a tlameha hore a tswe ka mona ka Roma ka mona ithutile bo Selatini bo le rona re batla ho ba ka mono ra tlameha hore re tswe ka mona o tloa ka mona o tla ka mona jalo o tlo kena dikereke tseo re seng re tsamaya le ka jeno tsa bo NG
ke batla tsa tjena ke batla ya papatsong ke khutlo wa ke wa tswa batho ba ho sebetsa Hello, are you there?
I'm there. I think we should bring our because Budi just move and travel. Miami they do things, they meet people, and then we come back on Saturday. Yes, yeah.
How did my life end?
Smooth out the country very, very much. A lot. To be fair, the guy's out of the country a lot. That is, how safe are we? And how one more? Yes.
Stop.
And
then I must come back.
Imagine. We can't. Have you seen that guy speak? Have you? Get on it. Okay, rain.
Every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Experience the real disruption of radio with Massive Metro.
Welcome back to Massive Metro. #Massive Mornings brought to you by Wheatbix. Tsatsing la kajeno ka studio saka ki ka spedisa ga bona ba re kena le segware sa radio kore o tsweletse ka magetla on top. So that is something. When I generation how ya batho ba radio le re hodisitse le re hodisitse mara le santse le hodisa le bana na kwa tele kana ka radio
radio ke ntho e thata radio ke ntho e monate hape radio e batla motho ya na leng lona ka sekgono le ba sebudi ha no kena o re o batla ho ba radio announce o no iswa doctor
I don't check
o no ya doctor how fika do ka mona ka Lister building wa bona Lister building
ka topo
o mamele hantle ka mona Lister building o no ya doctor o ya ha doctor ntho ya pele ha o fika ntshebe bao checka menu hore menu wa hao a dutse jwang o mamele hantle ha o no na le menwana a ditadi kore askisu ke tshojalo kore empa ke tlameha hore ke hlaloselo ba tibua ha o no na le meno a wa bona meno a eme hantle jwang kore ka bo meno a leng ka teng o no shejwa hore na meno a eme o no shejwa le leleme ha no bana ba bolella ba you cannot be behind the microphone. That's number one. Bane ba o checka le mehlala.
Okay.
Hela. Bane ba checka le mohlala. Bane ba checka le weight ya hao.
Okay.
Uno ya mo wa fika mo o yeme hodima dikala. Ba checke weight ya hao. Ha ba fumana hore weight ya hao e kana. O bona mo re tswang teng.
Yeah, boss.
Ha menwa a ne a qhalane jalo ka foroko.
Yeah, no.
Kore menwa a emetse. O tshwela mathe a tswa mona ha o ntse o bua. Bane ba o bolella ba re go wena. Wena matshwele. Ha wa tlameha hore o tlowe mona hore ka nnete o tla ba sudi. Menwa ha o ka mo ya leng ka teng. Ha o lokela ho bitsa
yeah.
Matana a betsana bane ba o sheba me but happen to bane ba sheba ke le bitsa ntwana sleep ya tsona ka speaking your ka English it's your chin bane ba sheba sleep sa hao ha sleep sa hao siemi mshomo jalo ka o tswereng tweng sena se stilile wa bona sleep sa o se le stilile how o bua ka phankang ka peneng ha motho se stilile ha e kenya mo ba kenya penena ka mona ka molomong ka kgona o utlwa ntho di buang ka yona meno a hao gore ka mo meno a leng ka teng o ile pele ona o ile pele jwale ho na le mantswe a mang a o hlolang ho a bua o bona mo re tswang teng
ke a bona mo tswang teng ke a bona hore hobane ho na le batho ba hlola ho bua mantswe a itseng ka radio hona jwanong ke a bona hore ho na le ba bang ha ba bua ha utlwe motho hore o itseng ke utlwisisa hantle ntho e buang hore bane ne le bohlokwa hore e etsahale hobane ke butsa ho tlile jwang batho ba bang ba bua fela ba etsa dintho fela empa ha e utlwahale ntho e etsahalang ko bane ha e sa le yo test
no ya di-testing tse wa bona wena molomo wa o kwaleha monate jwale hobane meno a hao gore ka mo meno a o a entsweng ka teng meno a hao a hantle a dutse hantle ke ntho tse baneng ba di sheba o no ke gore ha ke bue ntho excited ke bua hobane ke tswa teng mo right ha re fete mono
empa batho ba bang metaong ba re ntho eo ne le ho kgetholla batho ne le discrimination
e re thusitse yona discrimination eo ke tla hlakoreng la ho kgetha batho ba hlwahlwa hlakoreng la ho kgetha e re thusitse haholo hobane ha hona mantswe o tsamayang o a lahla ha hona mantswe o tsamayang o a siya kwana ntho e nngwe hape training
so ne ba training ne etsahala jwang hobane batho ba bangata ba keneng ka radiong
ka nako eo o no trainwa ke tsona dibudi tsena tsa kgale I remember it took me 9 months before ke behind the microphone
9 months
before
ke ngwana ntho eo
ke ngwana
wa meter first trimester second trimester third trimester halala
wacha
ngwana
9 months
okay
9 months
9 months before you went on air okay I'm going to take a musical break ke bapale mmino
tsasa ngwanaka
ko le reng ba reng
tsasa
ba mmino tholwana tsa lerato
alala tsasa
ke tsasa what sometimes you love to be so wild that is so I know too many people the test is so intense so then now imagine if they did a psychometric test with that yes because especially after the conversation you also need a so if they did that and if you had a list you wouldn't and that was BBC standard so that's how BBC used to do it
so no reduct
that was BBC standard
bana ba o kenya ntho e so ka mo ba utlwe ha re o tsana batho bana ba bua ba no
because you're not going to be clear
you are not going to be clear
and now you just need personality
and then you still
do need personality it's just that there's just the basics of being a communicator that they took into consideration but now they don't oh my god
le dimpa bana ba di sheba
is that a projection yes. Where do you project it from your breathing ability
yes
that's why people who go on air high drunk I don't know how you do it because this thing is exhausting when you come out of here I'm like how do you do that when you breathe breathing technique
all how can you take wait was very important actually wait and then
you must flow
no bona motsa
you won't survive
and ba mo le ngolo ba la o tla kwana ba yes
it's like a driver's
license we go straight into the live read
okay is there live read for when
20
okay oh yeah okay. All right, it's Mahalia featuring Burna Boy and Massive Metro. It's called Simmer. It's 20 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock. You know the beauty of languages. Now I just went Lesedi on you. Ra kuele. Hashtag Massive Mornings with me, Penny, brought to you by Whitbig. Some consumer conversation with Ntate Tusomutaung. After this is information you need to know. Whitbix is giving our Massive Metro listeners an opportunity to win airtime vouchers worth 250 rands to fill up your phone. To stand a chance to win, send us a message or image of you energized by Whitbix, whether it's getting ready for work, studying, or taking care of your family. What is Whitbix keeping you full and energized for? Send us your entry on social media pages at Massive Metro or send it via WhatsApp on 087-152-0887. Hashtag fill up with goodness. Include that in your entry. Terms and conditions do apply right here on Massive Metro. As we continue our chat this morning with Ntate Tusomtaung. So he's just spoken to us about the stringent requirements, physical check. It's like any other job, you know. I appreciate this conversation because now I've also felt that people need to be taken through a psychometric test. You know, and sabobedi se se nne ke nana o swana ha o lo sebeletsa SABC ke re ba o swana le ha o lo kena SANDF o lo joina Sesol hobane but people must take an oath. I'm going to serve the nation and serve it with diligence. It's not going to be about me. I'm here to build. Well, I understand. Because I think sometimes, but when I say SABC, yes, you're going to be, when you are how you grow, but it's not about you.
No, kai kapa kai how this sebudi are nalwe no dolo ka mo a Massive Metro. O mona Massive Metro ka baka la a listener. Ya bitsin lo wena kana jwale. Ya o mametsin kana jwale. And kai kapa kai if you go behind the microphone, it's education. Educate about it's information. And now entertainment.
Yeah.
And
it's last, always last.
Always last.
Yeah.
And then we have the presenters. Programs are how you must try by all means that your programs are compelling. Or if Udulamona behind the microphone with a program that is not compelling. If you sit behind the microphone, correct. And the must be revealing. Firstly, it must compel me to listen to you.
Okay.
Secondly, your program must be revealing. And then how humani to the last one must be memorable.
Memorable. Hela.
Halala, what some cool.
How's the memorable?
Okay.
Okay. So 2020 Commander Governor for IR. For IR Telkom
but Telkom but Telkom can say who connected 10 million yabat. May what they did, Yababa irrelate Ikatapatina Bahalang radio, Bonabosi party, go to do woman cow fellow. Irrelate the total connector, but one about 10 million. Repeats a team blue. Okay, one point on one okay, drive. Connectivity. I know who that. There is a postcard. On a postcard, so penny me penny otewa kamunaka alimpopo mane haskororo and all okay
ratlo
how I to a moon postcard yaba iakai iatewa wal ia defexi but I to a moon up ia to upula nretswara di telegram ritsa death notices telegrams Mukwena Shwile part of weekend. Why pull a telegram? Telegram in the Canada. I'm sure now feeling one like the Malay Luena. Telegram in the
Malay
a telegram. WhatsApp, man, but WhatsApp, technology e ntšha jwale re matha le Telkom jwale
Technology e ntšha e tsamaya jwang?
technology e ntšha e tsamaya tjena.
Ke ntho e ntle he eo. And it's all part of communication, it's all part of ICT.
Yes.
Hobane radio e fala under ICT le communication.
Ha monate bona
Molaetsa o potlako.
go sebedisa o bitsang card ena rona ya bankeng ba teng ka di-line tsa bona bo Telkom ha o shwa dintho tse mo re ba le mathata
Ntate Motaung ke mosebetsi mo ntle o etsang ebile o etsa dintho tse makgethe gore wena technology ha e o fimoga le hona jwanong you put videos on social media di a trenda what's
hela monna moholo etsa mehlolo wana a ke jwale re tsamaya le dinako peng jwale ha o le bophelong peng ntho e ka o sitisang e re ko boleng and take it from me if bophelong o hana o change o fedile ka wena
if you don't evolve
o fedile
you'll disappear
yes ntho e nngwe le nngwe e ntšha e teng bophelong o change and it's your choice baby it's your choice ke kgetho ya gore na o batla o change kapa o batla o dula o ntse o dutse mane o ya change morao tjena change away
change
Ntate
Motaung o santsane o le sebohodi o rata mosebetsi wa hao ka makgethe o etsa ntho sentle le di-partner jwalo ke eng e etsang o tsoe everyday o re ke batla ba ka radio what's that thing that's still pushing you
ntho e kgolo e ntshututsang le go feta gona jwale ke thuto pele batho ba rona ba hloka thuto pele batho ba hloka thuto
information
educate pele bona ka jeno gore ba nna re etsang ke a otla pele ko otla mosadi a otle pele fe morena mosadi a otle jwale bona ke thuto e ke gona jwale e ke seng ke lodimang go otla bana ba banana a ko bone palesa tsentletse
bona fela
motho ya tloa and le bana ba na le bona ga ba tene pheni ka go rata dintho tse ba sa tlamehang go di rata pheni ngwana o mogalema ka boyfriend o matha ngwana lebelo le penthouse se e tabuile o re wa mothiba o mmontsha moshimane ya o botsang gore o founetse mang o bua le mang o fihla nako mang khona motloele dintho tse ke tsona tse ding tsa ntho tse ntsosang o seng gore a kore ke re le ka tlo lwanela le bana ba rona ba banana ke na le ngwanana ke neile ke setutubanyana tje ha ke tsamaya le ena tsatsi le moshimane mona sa tsebe ke tsamaya le moradi yaka helang ngwana go tlo feta mo nthong pele kore ntho ke neng ke ikwatile mo wa pele jalo ka bana moshimane o sa fetisa letsogo gore ngwana o ya feta a ke no le bana ke nna ke moradi yaka motho letsogo hello o ya kwana Bloemfontein pereng e tshweu sengangata o fetisa letsogo fela ye ne ke re ke mo betsa moshimane ba di ba nthiba mo jwale dintho tse ka reng tse ntsosa o seng gore ke re e re ke sireletse organize e re ke eme ke rute setšhaba se o etsa mosebetsi radio re sebedise ruta batho ba bona
Ntate Thuso ke a leboga nako ya hao ya rona e nyane ebile ke a tseba o na le di-appointments tse dingata mo tshwanetse o dule rona o fitlha ka 8 empa o ka se kgone re leboga nako e o re fileng yona maele wa re fa gore o re botse kelello ke a gola banana bana ba utlwisisa ntho e buang zanele o tlo re etsetsa ditaba ka sebele sebakeng sa jwale Ntate Motaung o be letsatsi le monate fela jwang. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thuso Motaung. It is news time. Zanele is here to bring us the latest stories making headlines. But long di tshwantsho ha o qeta mo Ntate Motaung ai o ikele he ke a leboga.
Bathatha abantu okubeka ukuthi banesifo coronavirus eNingizimu Afrika kanti ke umengameli ungqongqoshe wezempilo uDr Zweli Mkhize uthi-ke phansi amaphaphu ezakhamuzi kunyela qhubeka kulandela ukubhijula kwabantu abasithupha bashona ekhaya elisha eKapa somabombane lesishiyagalombili ihora mlaleli ngibuye nalezi ezinye ngcwele.
Jerry ke batla o be le jealous ka jeno ke na le Ntate Thuso Motaung ka mo studio
Hai lo solita modifiche sbagliate di metodologia. Poi guarda lo ti dico voi hai carbone di majority.
Waruta. You're a prophet. What's going on the road? Eh? Jerry, okay, I didn't know that you go that way. Anyway, what's going on the roads this morning, Jerry? Are we gonna take a pictures outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
man!
Ah, really? That's good. That's good for the baby boom massive radio man. Let's see for the metro. Now we have to make Moon bus. Oh. What's that feeling? They threw the tap at one. Now going fit the basadi camera microphone.
Hey.
Basadi no sina msaidia tumeletwa bala bitaba. Jolo camera yaka. Usina msaidia tumeletwa kwa sport.
It's a sport, yeah.
Well, Paul. More 20. Basadi were not allowed to be behind the microphone.
Are y'all listening? And if they're on the microphone, they were also supposed to sound a certain way. What too much that girl? Yeah, we can't have. She talks a lot. She talks a lot. Okay, we're gonna go take a picture outside, but I need to. Where is it? There. Okay, I'll bring outside. Outside. Yeah.
Oh.
So can you please come take a picture? Sorry, I actually know your son.
Oh.
Yes, one in 2020 rapper.
On myself. We'll do a double play.
Everything's for sale. Got 5 passports. I'm never going to jail. I made Jesus walks. I'm never going to hell. To another flow. It's never going on sale. Luxury rap. The Hermes a person. Sophisticated ignorance. Like my person and cursing. I get it custom. You customer. You ain't custom to going through customs. You ain't gonna know where I am. And all the ladies in the house got them showing out. I'm gonna hit you up and y'all. Welcome to the banner. Smoking Cubanos with Castro and Bennett. Cubano, Dominicano, all the plus that I know. Driving Benzes with no benefits. Not bad, honey. For some immigrants, know your fences. We digging tunnels. Can't you see we getting money up under you?
Okay, I think I'm back. We don't need it.
What more can I say? We killing them. Hold up before we end.
Okay, we don't need it. I'm here.
As you can see, we embodied the damn lands. Lord, please let them accept the things that can't change. I pray that all of their pain be champagne.
Oh wow, guys, that 2 dose for days. I'm so. All right, there you have it. That was a listener's choice for this morning. All you have to do if you want us to play you a song, send us a voice note line. Very simple, 074 9407 and then we get to play you the song. So listener's choice is at 7:30, and my choice, song choice, comes through at 8:30. And we kick it off with the kids at 6:35 right here on Massive Metro. As we continue to give you what you need music-wise. How beautiful was that? Spending time
with Ndate Thuso Mtaung. Unfortunately, he's got a live TV interview that he needs to be at 8 o'clock. So it was better than us not having him in studio. We had him for a short while, and that's why we compressed our conversation the way that we did. Okay, so just before the news, I was telling you about the female presidents, and then I stopped at Sahle Work Zwede. That's the president of Ethiopia. Because I know Ethiopia has got a prime minister, and I wanted to double check. So, well, I wasn't sure if the guy's a president or prime minister, but I knew that he's the head of state in Ethiopia. So there you have it. So Ethiopia has a president and a prime minister. Okay, just now you're like, oh, she didn't give us the right information and she left us hanging. So yeah, I wanted to correct myself on that part. Sahle Work Zwede, president of Ethiopia from 2018 to currently. She's the first elected female president of Ethiopia, currently the only female out of the 54 presidents in Africa. She took office on October 25th, 2018, after being unanimously elected by members of the National Assembly. Prior to her election as president, she worked as special representative of the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to the African Union and head of the United Nations Office of the African Union. I also recall her from that position. I was just like, whoa, how did we get there? So there you have it. She's currently a female president in Ethiopia. Still to come right here on the show in this hour. Remember, we've got our poll that's going on our social media pages. And that poll is all about, well, religious observations, so to say. Religion is quite important to most people, and people follow or serve, God differently. Fasting is another factor. So you get to a point where you choose celibacy or altogether, don't want to have sex. People say they want to be pure, and it happens. So, and there are those who are like, they won't have sex before marriage. So hot topic is, if your partner decided to give up sex for Lent, what would you do? If your partner decided to give up sex for Lent, what would you do? So far, this is what you guys have got to say. If your partner decided to give up sex for Lent, what would you do? I'd understand 79% of you are saying that. And the 21% says I'd make other alternatives. Do you think the 79% people is telling the truth? I'm really interested in what they've got to say. I fully support and understand my spiritual life is important to me, and I would let nobody stand in my way. That's according to Zinhle _NN. And Brendan Moshala says, I'd understand. I mean, relationships, it's not all about sex. That's what Brendan Moshala on Twitter has to say. What are your thoughts? Feel free to share those with us. It is at Massive Metro. That is our handle. Massive without an E. At Massive Metro on Twitter. Share your thoughts with us. We're very interested in hearing what have you got to say. More music coming your way. As you heard from Brad Thuso Mtaung, we will educate you. We will inform you. We will give you compelling content. We will reveal some things to you. And of course, we're definitely memorable. That's how we roll.
I love feeling
That was
like
such a good
royalty.
interview.
I like
That
living
was
like
such a good
royalty.
interview.
I like eating like royalty. In our tribes, our African tribes, if you live only in the natural and you never cross into the spiritual and live your natural life in the spiritual, then you will miss it. You get lost. So that we can experience spiritually what it is like to be royalty.
Sunday Circle Live with Dr. Mamiki Molapo and Dr. Richie Achuku every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
So when does 1 + 1 = 1? When it's breakfast time with Weet-Bix. That's because it only takes 2 Weet-Bix biscuits to make one good breakfast. Weet-Bix is made from 97% pure whole grain wheat and is high in fiber, vitamins, and iron, which means it has what you need to keep going. Find the goodness and none of the bad stuff like too much sugar and no caffeine. Find your goodness every morning with 2 Weet-Bix. Now that's one good breakfast. Look out for free Weet-Bix samples at Taxi Rank soon.
Massive Mornings. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m.
Yes.
Sure. Yes. Sure. Very jumping, recording is something. First time I had a canipina that was stranded. I can change it up so much when it's candy. Please spend the one and die with my son. Something you will be buried up was gangging. Don't you know, Caleva restante. Wish I can get who's really barefate. Signora, leave me feel like a swing boss. Enemies wanna be friends, they change I got speedy so. Farah Biggie dog, the less I feel sauce. You put it with the boy.
Oh my God.
No stress, never had a Skylash, listen to me, I go baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on. You know I want your baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on. Yes, we can use the back door. I reach your back before I get the shy. I'ma give you everything. Maybe not everything, a little bit of silly. You a goofball, screwsball. Love it when you fool around. Can't do cool stuff. Social you call it man. Copa too soft. Well, if that ding the cheapy skin is too soft, or you thinking your hips the tampala. I can move around the curve, get last number. Dance in the sheets, I rush up at samba. Had a great night, wake up, get like your panda. Baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on. You know I want your baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on. Baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on. You know I want your baby, go boss on your lady. Montana, sweetie. I better go on.
It's Massive Metro in the morning. Para, Black Les right here. Okay, he was with us on Friday. I had to leave him, for a couple of minutes to be taking care of Kamo. I'm sure it went very well, but great conversations that we had with him as well in studio right here on the show. Please feel free, guys, to suggest who we should have next in conversation in the studio. All right, always feel free to do that. It's a hashtag Massive Metro on Twitter, hashtag Massive Mornings rather. Our handles hashtag Massive handles at Massive Metro, and our hashtag is Massive Mornings with Penny. That's how we do. So right now, we're gonna continue to give you great conversations that are informative, entertaining as well, all the way until 9 o'clock in this hour of the show. So we've already given you this day in history. We've spoken about okay. We'll let you in on what else is coming up. Okay, so actually maybe I should talk to you about what happened on Friday. Yeah. So on Friday I went to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. As you are aware, it is International Women's Month. Guys, talking about that, I won't mention, somebody posted, I never get it. I really never get it. And our agency as women is just something else. You know, we all interpret things differently. Somebody posted a picture of themselves in their panties and bra and said Happy International Women's Day. I mean, I don't know. Look, I understand. Maybe it's an expression of their freedom and being, you know, loving their body and doing whatever. But for me, it falls in the same group with like people sending me flowers on International Women's Day or Women's Day on the 9th of August. I'm like, don't do that. That's just patronizing. Like, that's not what those 2 days are about. They're about real deep things. They're like about land, about shares. They're about, you know, impactful power in business. They're about changing the political landscape. They're about making sure that policies are being implemented. Okay, I guess, you know, you can say Happy International Women's Day wearing your panties and your bra, but at the end of the day, you gotta give me more context to that. You can't just like, you know, because I don't want to control a woman's body, but I want you to be certain of like when we're talking International Women's Day or Women's Day on the 9th of August, what is at stake? You know what I mean? So I don't want to confuse the enemy. The enemy is the one who doesn't want to have access to that power. You know, I don't know. Maybe it works for other people that, you know, if I'm undressed or, you know, less dressed, then they take me serious. I don't know, but I just feel like in one of the conversations that I attended actually on Friday, this lady was talking about, she's a coach. She was talking about, she was one of the panelists at the summit, at the Women's Day Summit, International Women's Day Summit that was the Mitsiphe Foundation put together, which was at the convention. She was talking about how, you know, as women, you know, we need to literally like act like men for us to get access to power. And women were like, we're done with that. You know, where, you know, you must be tactful and you must be concerned about how, you know, what you say to men about power and access to power, how they take it. To paraphrase, he said we need to nurse men's feelings to basically get access to this power. And women are like, no, that's what we were doing in the 90s, in the 10s. We're not doing that anymore. We're done. You know. So I don't know if the taking off the clothes goes with that or how you see it. But that's the conversation that we were having. So what do you understand International Women's Day to be all about? Like I said, is where we are globally. What happened 25 years ago, you know, whether it was a United Nations declaration, are we following to that? Do you understand why we're having this, the sign, you know, one hand above the other? It's about the gap, you know, equality, equal for each. So how do we close the gap? They're closing the financial gap, closing the gender gap. So that's that. It's like we want the gap to be closer, the hands to be closer together. So the reason you see the sign being the open hand like that, one hand above the other, it's about the gap. So do people even understand that? So that's a conversation. You know, so Friday was very interesting. We went to Stock Exchange. We had to ring the bell. It's about opening up the space in JSE's listed companies, that we need more females to be sitting in boards, because when they sit on those boards, they will have influence, and then when they'll have influence, they will bring female influence. And once they bring female influence, there will be an understanding of what women's role should be and can be and how they contribute. And facts speak for themselves. When women sit in those positions, they bring a certain dynamic to power, and things are done differently. So that's what International Women's Day was all about.
This is Massive Metro.
I didn't waffle, ne?
No.
I made sense, yeah?
What's happening on one about?
National his friend.
Same old pimp, babe. You know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee me yourself, double up. Believe in my word, double up. We don't play around. It's a bet, lay it down. Didn't know me 91, bet they know me now.
I know this one.
Can't hold me down, cooler. Screw me to the game, now I know my duty. Say no, stay low, blow like booty. True Grimmy, been on the
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Probably too.
Oh.
Okay. So when we come back, let's do the hot topic so that dogs will have time when winter starts coming in.
What topic is it?
Don't get it to speak about it, but don't say stuff like that. Make this that's your personal.
10 years from now, we'll still be on top.
And then since we're like,
Yeah.
Much stronger than yours. 17 much stronger than yours. Ballet beat, this will be your day. We don't play, mess around with DOA. We on your way. Cause it ain't enough time here. Ain't enough line here for you to shine here. Deal with many women, but she's not fair. And we are in the city like that.
I was thinking that's an interesting move. I need to try it.
Oh no, it is interesting. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I was like,
I already told you one move that you have to try.
which one is that? Ah, yes.
Oh, I know she actually knows, guys.
Hey, better tell it. Hey. Better tell the child. Now she's getting left out. She's 25 though.
And then what?
Hey, come on. That one will tell you when you get married. It will tell you when you get married. So you can keep the marriage. So says the girls who are not married. Find a boyfriend first.
I have one.
We need to test him first. Yeah.
Never breathe, never breathe, never breathe. DIGB Flossy, jig on the cover of Fortune, 500. I got the dough, got the flow down, Pizzazz, black and plus, like Pizzazz, dangerous on Trizak, we do it Pizzazz.
They want from me. The more problems we see. They want from me. The more problems we see. Give me the money, I'll deal with the problem. All right, and we all said, give me the money, I'll deal with the problems later. Notorious B.I.G. and Massive Metro in the morning. More money, more problems. On this day, he was senselessly killed in a drive-by shooting. Okay, we told you this on Today in History in Las Vegas. Okay, what year was that? 1997? Yeah? Yes, I think so. I remember it being 1997. Could be wrong. Yeah, I was right on the money. It was 1997 on this day. Yes, there you have it. I just needed to double check the facts. You know me. I need to be on fact, on brand, on point. That's how it is. So, coronavirus is driving all of y'all crazy. It's impacting us left, right, and center in all spheres. So please be on the wash your hands, guys. People who have not been washing their hands, they're like, it's just gonna take us to wash our hands. That's that. Okay, so please do the right thing. So now we're talking about Lent, which has got to do with our hot topic. So our hot topic is that, so if your partner decided to give up sex for Lent, what would you do? That's the question that we're asking you. So Lent is the period of 40 days, which comes before Easter in the Christian calendar. Beginning on Ash Wednesday, Lent is a season of reflection and preparation for the celebrations of Easter. By observing the 40 days of Lent, Christians replicate Jesus Christ's sacrifice. Some of you have mastered fasting food, but that's not really the problem. Some of you need to master negative thoughts. Some of you need to fast for social media. Some of you need to fast, thinking small of yourself. There's a lot of things that you can fast for. There's those who just stick to traditional stuff, dry fast and all of those things. So the significance of 40 days, well, in Genesis, the flood which destroyed the earth was brought about by 40 days and nights of rain. The Hebrews spent 40 days in the wilderness before reaching the promised land. What else? Moses fasted for 40 days before receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. Jesus spent 40 days fasting in the wilderness in preparation for his ministry. So 40 days is very significant in the Christian calendar, if that's the calendar that you follow. So most Christians regard Jesus' time in the wilderness as the key event to the duration of Lent. Why is it called Lent? Lent is an old English word meaning lengthen. Lent is observed in spring when the days begin to get longer. The days about to get longer because winter is coming. The color purple. Purple is a symbolic color used in some churches throughout Lent for drapes and the altar frontals. Purple is used for two reasons. Firstly, because it is associated with mourning and so anticipates the pain and suffering of the crucifixion. And secondly, because purple is the color associated with royalty and celebrate Christ's resurrection and sovereignty. So there you have it. You guys stop associating purple with not having sex. Even though we're talking about not having sex for Lent, if you know what I'm saying. So East and West, both the Eastern and Western churches observe Lent by the amount of 40 days. Start Lent on the 7th Wednesday before Easter, day called Ash Wednesday. And the Eastern churches start Lent on Monday the 7th, weekday, 7th week before Easter, and end it on the Friday the 9th day, days before Easter. Eastern churches call the period Great Lent. So that's a whole thing about churches that you need to know. The last Holy Week of Lent is called the Holy Week, which you give up something for Lent. When does it end? When does Lent end? The official end of Lent is Thursday, the 9th of April, 3 days before Easter Sunday. Okay, January 15th, that is when it started. Okay, 7 little known facts of benefit for not having sex. Your body becomes stronger. Ooh. Your self-worth worth skyrockets. A lot of people struggle with body image and self-worth, especially when it comes to opinions of others, bless me. Once you remove those others forms from the situation, you'll find that your insecurities will be less and you learn to love yourself on your terms. 3, you are more likely to stay fit. Between the killer workouts, the fact that you're no longer binge eating with your partner on the couch, your dry spell is going to get your body in gear. I don't know about that, but it might just work for you. You learn how to please yourself. You don't have to worry about getting pregnant or impregnating someone. Your life has less drama and you appreciate it more when you finally have sex. Those are the benefits for you, not having sex during Lent. If you want to try it for 40 days, it might just work for you. I don't know. That's that. I mean, done it for 2-3 years. It's been good. It's time for us to find out what's going on in the news. I'm standing by to bring us the latest stories making headlines. It is Massive Mornings brought to you by Whitbix. It is 8 o'clock.
Ibumbene ihora lesishiyagalombili kanti izindaba nesifundela zanele intombi yabashabalala kunzona ezihamba phambili kuleli ihora eNingizimu Afrika emuntu ukuthi-ke ingathuki kulandela umbiko mayelana-ke ne-coronavirus kule engaleli sawubona. Uhulumeni uzohlala ebhika kuzakhamuzi ngaso sonke isikhathi mayelana ne-coronavirus bokushiwo umengameli wezwe Cyril Ramaphosa kulandela kombiko ukuthi bathatha abantu abanesifo sezwe-imfiza ethelelana kwesibalo sabantu abatheleleke ne-coronavirus singekho phezulu kakhulu okwamanje asinesidingo sokuthi kuvalwe imingcele yesifundazwe. Abantu ababili batholakala esifundazweni KwaZulu-Natal emva kokubuya kwabo e-Italy bathola yodwa sondelane nabatholakala esifundazweni eGauteng ukubheka ukuthi
Sibaqoqe bonke abantu ababethintene nabo noma ngabe usebenza khona usebenza ekitchen siyakubala noma ngabe usebenza ngadini siyakubala uma ngabe uvamise ukuvakasha khona niye kohlala khona niphuza amatiye siyakubala kulaba abebehambile babe u10 u9 sesikhulumile nabo ngoba lo munye bese gula Sesambe sawubuka ukuthi bapha abantu ababehlezi eduze kwakhe ebhanoyini afika ngale vele eDubai. Sesiwathole bonke. Ngalesi sifo akusho ukuthi wonke umuntu one-coronavirus uyashona, cha.
Inkampani yakwa-Eskom izosebenzisa uhlelo lwesigaba sokuqala lokucinywa kogesi ukusukela ngehora lesishagalolunye kuNathi noma kuSikunati Manjanja bese-ke kungenzeka lolu hlelo lokucinywa kogesi lwesigaba-ke sokuqala luqhubeke kuze kube ngolwesine. Iphiko lamaphoyisa eNyakuvesi seliqinisekisile ukuthi bophenyo lamaphoyisa kulidokotela elivuliwe mayelana nenkolo zokulinda kuka-Enoch Mpiyanzi selikhethuliwe. Mpiyanzi oneminyaka engu-13 ubudala ushonele ngenkathi isikole i-Parktown Boys High eGolisenze ikhempe yokwamukela abafundi kwenye yendawo eGreater North-West ngoJanuwari kulo nyaka. Usongo namaphoyisa u-Edelmeide uthi-ke leli dokodo lizondlulisela emnyangweni wezobulungiswa ukuze kuzothatha isinqumo. Uphenyo luqhubeka kulandela ukubulawa kwabantu abasithupha kwalimala abayisikhombisa endaweni yokucima inkomo ekhaya elisha eKapa. Ngokombiko labantu badudule babulawa kweSide ngempelasonto kwashona abahlanu endaweni yesigameko kwathi komunye washonela esibhedlela. Usongo namaphoyisa uNovela Bogoya uthi bethula ukuthi iqoqobana lamadoda lingene ngelaphulukudela kuleya ndawo langabuza lafike laphelela ngenhlamvu bonke abantu bekulaphela ngaphakathi imbangela elokudubula yaziwa kanti kuphenyo liyaqhubeka kuhlanganisa nedrone laseMelika libe ngo-21.76 obanda waseBrithani lingu-17.96 kwidollar igolide lana lingu-$1,674.19 i-ounce platinum $904 bese uwoyela ongahlisiwe ubo-$44.38 umphongolo. Masibeka amazinga namhlanje kulingu-28 kwidollar 31 bese kuthi sithi-ke yembele ngo-80 nalelo uma ngabe senizikhetha zaleli hora bengikhubuze ukuzona bengihamba ngazo phambi kweNingizimu Afrika yamuka ukuthi-ke ingakhathazeki mayelana nodaba lwe-coronavirus kusho kohulumeni. Ziyabhitoza leli hora zokufika amagama ngelesindebele lefingqo eSmartphone. Uma kukhona okwenzeka la uhlala khona ufuna ukuthi ithimba le-Massive News lazi kabanzi ngakho ungasithumela umlayezo nge-WhatsApp ku-0764727700 noma-ke kwi-email ethi news@massivemedia.com. Massive
Okay. So the reason that the second case is the person who's is in Johannesburg, who's from the trip. The third case is the wife of the other guy. I mean, it's the same people. Hey, ladies, Ama. Hey, hey. Ladies, Ama. Hey, hey.
Idols.
I can tell you this year. When
Auditions are happening Saturday. Go Carnival City. What is that?
No, this weekend.
I think this weekend is Pretoria. Johannesburg was.
Did you go to Pretoria? And Johannesburg was when?
This Saturday.
If it did it.
what the hell?
Where? Girl, you're supposed to go to Idols. What's your problem? A resident in my heart. A resident.
No physical 86. Republic.
A resident.
This got it.
In my
I'm been a Gaboya theater win 1 billion rand. 99 as of a moment every week. Spend there with your t-shirt printed.
Right. 120. I talk through the lyrics.
Oh.
I don't sing the lyrics.
I
talk
can't.
through them.
I can't.
Yes. Will you let me crash? 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 A resident. A resident. A resident. It's Lady Zamar right here on Massive Metro in the morning. It's called Collide. Brings us to 8 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. Hashtag Massive Mornings with Penny, with the Gal Gang, and a side of boy that's questionable. We just came up with that. Follow us on @massivemetro.com. Stream us live and get to listen to the show and be part of it. Remember, hashtag Massive Mornings is brought to you by Wheat Fix. The plan is to fill you up with goodness and make sure that you are energized for whatever you are going to be doing today. You need that because why? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So if it doesn't have goodness, why are you having it? That's how it is. It's like this show. Okay? If it's not educational, informative, entertaining, compelling, revealing, and memorable, like Ndata Tusumdawing has said, why are you listening to them? www.massivemetro.com. Stream us live while you're at it and tell all your friends about it. And download the app on Google Play so you can take us with you wherever you go. Right now, though, I've already schooled you on what Lent is all about. I bet it was very informative and educational at the same time. So the question that we're asking you on our hot topic for you to comment on our Twitter pages is, if your partner decides to give up sex for Lent, what would you do? Let's hear what you sex maniacs have got to say this morning. Ooh, 81% of people who are between 7 and 8 are saying that they are fine with it. They would understand. But I bet at 39 day and a half, they'll be like, hi, if fell in England. So they would be destructive throughout the fast. I can guarantee you that. I'd make alternatives. That's 19%. I think this 19% people are honest. Baba 71%. I came out safe. I don't want it. So I've read, I've read some of your messages. Z said she'll fully support, and then Brandon said they understand. I mean, relationship is not just about sex. That's all good and well. But that question still stands, guys. What would you do? I want to see what the people between 8 and 9 would say when we wrap up the show on top of the hour at 9 o'clock. It is Massive Metro in the morning.
Payday on massive.bet, where you will find excellent odds on Lotto, Lotto, lucky numbers.
It's only for today's next.
It's only
for today.
Register and
I'm going on 2 weeks, and this week is only because I'm on my period. I'm fucking stressed, bruh.
Why?
Because stress relieves sex relieves stress.
Now I'm the partner who pull a plug on you, jiggy jiggy.
No, I'm the partner who needs sex to relieve stress. Yeah?
Get it, I'm celibate.
What is it? Age of 18 are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. National Responsible Gambling Program. Toll-free counseling line 0800
She was so embarrassed. Like it was, Lena. I can't want to try.
It's normal to us. Like when you live my life. But that's what he's saying. Like the standard, that's shouldn't be the standard for any of us.
He has a point though. He does. But okay, but I always say we leave our studio is clean, guys. When we leave, it's clean. Hey, yeah. That's a fella. Like she even went to listen to a song. Apparently, you wrote a song about her.
Who's the king? King
Come
Love.
here.
What's the name of the song? Love what?
What number? That's been your best week, man. Where was he training? It's 12 minutes after 8. I can see you have to say. Who is who, Shay? Stuart Macy. Oh, guys, I wait now. Baba Buntu at the
It's like when you have a kid or rowdy, and then those visitors. Oliver or. No, try start doing those funny. How are you?
Oh my god, that's so funny. Stop. She's busy twerking here, Mama.
Are you serious?
She likes twerking in the morning. That's what she does all the time.
This morning twerks?
Oh, she's got morning twerks this one. I'm like, hey, let me I became a mom for a second.
Stop this.
Yes. Twitter. What? The poster. Twitter. The video you can post on Instagram. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Yes. Are you coming Friday? Yes, Saturday?
This Saturday is exactly. That's during the day.
Yeah, 3 o'clock. You didn't get
How many
message?
videos do you have on 3 o'clock is gonna be tight.
Is
It's
it?
not gonna work for me.
And for the guys?
If my brother, I'll find out if my brother can. I'm gonna know what ceremony.
Oh,
So
yeah, no. And you want them there, right?
I
Yeah.
do. Okay, so let me speak to them and find out what the
But if you can make it, then let's make a video chat or something so they can at least just
Because if I'm not around, it doesn't really come down. I don't know what's happening.
yeah, but then again if they come with you
All right, he's good for that. His name is Kaspanyoves right here on Massive Metro in the morning. It's just gone 15 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. So normally we get to listen to his voice, and he's been educating us and empowering us, but most definitely unpacking contemporary manhood. So he's in studio with us this Monday morning. It is Baba Buntu. How are you, Baba Buntu?
I am massive. How are you?
Oh, I love that. Oh, yes, you are massive.
Yes.
Okay, hashtag Massive Mornings brought to you by Weetbix. Thank you for joining us. He's here to fill us up with goodness. Aha. Okay, so Baba Buntu, last week you're talking about absent fathers, and then you're also touching you also spoke about anger. Yeah. So what brings you to studio today?
Well, today I thought I should announce that for the next coming weeks, I have decided to be guided by questions that men ask.
Okay.
So what we do, we have a program called Shabaka, Men of Africa, and we have a program again called Men on the Mountain, where we take men literally to a mountain for a day to prepare them for reflections and planning and how to prepare yourself for marriage, for relationship, for a lasting relationship. Because you know we struggle in that department, many of us. So it's to have a conversation with men and for men and give advice and talk about all the different details related to that. And then part of that, we also ask people to ask questions. What do you really want to know as an African man? So I'm going to be guided by those questions over the next few weeks. I'm going to share questions and give a brief answer to each one.
Okay.
And I hope that this will also stimulate both men and women who are listening. We need to ask more, we need to seek more information. I think a lot of questions around manhood, there's an expectation that we should just know. Like we don't even know from where or how, but we're just supposed to know.
What kind of questions are men asking?
many self-reflective questions. How can I be a better father? How can I be a better partner? But this will come through in the segments as well. Some are asking, how can I live up to this expectation that society seems to have of me? Because many men feel that society is saying you are the head of the house. So when we then hear men say as a head of the house, you say there you go again, head of the house. What? But that's what I was told to be. Like, what is the plan B for this?
At times they don't even know. They don't have a context of what that is,
Exactly.
because there was never a head of the house. So those who had a head of the house, at least they have an example or something to look up to. Because you also hear them say, "My father used to do this, so I'm going to be like that." I'm like that. I'm really like, oh, okay. True. At least you're taking the good traits of your father.
Exactly.
And for somebody else who their father didn't do anything, they're like, "What do you expect of me?" I don't know.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, we had spoken about how to deal with having grown up without a father. And I think a lot of men, and it's interesting to have had these discussions both in South Africa, but also in a couple of other African countries, where maybe the complete absence of the father is not as pronounced as in South Africa, but the relationship with the father often is very, very distant or difficult.
So he's physically there, but he's emotionally unavailable.
That's right.
He's basically, the relationship is non-existent.
Exactly.
And
what is
I don't know, I don't know if what's more dangerous. I mean, I know both situations are problematic, but I kind of like think like, when something is not there physically, you can deal with it. But when something is physically there, but it's not accessible to you there, that's a mind F.
True. No, it's true, so true. And a very good example of that is that I come across a lot of men, for instance, in Uganda, where I've done a lot of work around this as well. And for instance, we have a discussion, who's your role model? Who do you look up to? A lot of men will say, my father, my father, my father. Wow, this is great to hear, like good,
Tell me about
connected father. And then I have a side conversation, we go deeper and say, so you told me about your father. Yeah, I never was able to really have conversations with him. And then he was never really acknowledging me. So what do you mean when you say that I look up to my father, I want to be like my father? It's almost like we idolize, at least he was there. So at least I know his name, I took my name from him, I know a little bit of my background. But sometimes, I'm not saying this is all the situations, but sometimes there isn't really that much of a connection. And it hurts men, it frustrates men, it makes men angry.
Okay, so how do you help them navigate something like that?
Okay, so I believe that many of us do have some answers within ourselves, but we need to be taken there. So a lot of the time I drive conversations, dialogues, deep reflections. I ask men to write, I ask men to do all the things that they don't really want to do. And I'm doing it because I've done it myself. And that doesn't mean that I'm qualified and I'm an expert and that I've done everything in the book. I'm still working on me. But I've found something that worked for me and I want to share it with those who are interested.
Great stuff. Ubuntu is here with me this morning. Obviously, every day on the show, we unpack contemporary manhood with those conversations. And you can catch him every Thursday right here on Massive Metro on Unstuck at 8 p.m. Okay, so we're coming back with more. Do stay with us. Hashtag Massive Mornings with Penny, brought to you by Weekfix.
From 6 to 9
I'm so happy you said hashtag Massive Mornings and not hashtag Massive in the Mornings.
I'm working on it, baby.
Because it goes when she goes Massive in the Mornings. Like it should be a jingle.
They do things, they meet people.
When it was Fez's birthday yesterday,
I saw that.
everyone loves these off air.
Can I turn down this a little bit?
Oh, you can take it off.
No, I want it on, but it's loud.
Okay, it's gonna be back.
Yeah, that's good.
It's gonna be back tomorrow. Don't worry. No. We need to cross dress. Freaky Friday. This Friday we have to dress flamboyant.
All right, Massive Forces. Weekfix is giving our Massive Metro listeners an opportunity to win airtime vouchers worth 250 Rand to fill up your phone. To stand a chance to win, send us a message or an image of you energized by Weekfix. Whether it's getting ready for work, studying, or taking care of your family, what is Weekfix keeping you full and energized for? Send us your entry to our social media pages at Massive Metro. Remember, Massive without an E. And send it via WhatsApp on 087-152-0887. That number again is 087-152-0887. with the hashtag Fill Up with Goodness. Remember, terms and conditions do apply. Riding on the Wall, French Montana featuring Post Malone, Cardi B.
How nalimeno? Meno adi foroko. Mate.
There's people who wouldn't be on the radio right now. Matuela.
Because I get all tell mate. The thing is, he's funny, but he's not trying to be funny.
Yes.
He's being real.
And he's funny and educational.
Yeah, like you're learning.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
whoa, that's deep, but you're laughing.
Adam Kukuwach.
You know what he just needed to add? Salama Seng. That's a blue thing. That's a blue thing. Watch him Kuku Salama Seng.
Oh, that was impressive.
Oh. So this, oh gosh.
Yeah, man, that's a new cheating, but like,
Yes. Speak to my brother.
Yes.
Miss you.
Can I just first of all just the script? It was so that I had to rewrite the script on my phone because and your son, he's coming here.
You know what I wanted to send me?
Yeah.
Remember when you left me and I did the second term plans? Is it still on your laptop? Because I don't have it.
No, email you because I remember I emailed it to you.
So yeah. You didn't email it to me. You emailed it to me, so that's why I also printed it twice.
So is this?
That's how I know that I never had the
This is the
email.
teenage group. There's going to be, I think we have 7.
Because I wanted to print it.
So I think that's
You don't have to do it now. I just
So
mean,
we'll have
you know,
conversations,
so that I can start
info,
following up on those things.
music. Yeah, just engage in things that are not too schooly but educational at the same time.
Yeah, I really think so.
Yeah.
I think he means that.
Sure. If you're talkative, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. He has a lot to say, but he's not saying a lot to me. But when we talk, and now his life is taken over by games and stuff, I'm just like, ah!
Forever on some gadget.
Going, it is very nice. So now they want a dog. I'm thinking I'm gonna get him a dog. He wants to play rugby. I got him a rugby ball. So I'm trying to get him out of the house.
Exactly. Do something physical.
Just like, oh,
Serious.
Massive Metro in the morning, writing on the wall. 25 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. News coming through on top of at Halfpast rather with Zanele. And of course, we're also going to be giving you traffic update, not just the update for this Monday morning. Unpacking contemporary manhood with Babuntu in studio with me. And we've been chatting about some of the programs that he is working on and how, and he wants to go work through the questions that men are asking. These programs, obviously, they're designed for men at different stages. Why is that important?
It's very important. I find that this is a response to actually something that I discovered many years ago. I thought I was one of the few who was asking a lot of questions about what does it mean to be an African man? Where do I find guidance? Do I just look at those who are available around me? What do I do? But then I started to realize that this is a question that most men actually have. They just don't know where to ask it and they don't know where to look for answers. So, you know, we live in Google times and we live in this self-help book times. So we're desperately looking for books that give us the answer, or we Google stuff on the internet, which is not necessarily, I mean, it can be educational to some point, but it doesn't necessarily answer as a kumalo. And like, where do you start?
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for men to come together and ask questions that are actually on our minds. And what we try to, sometimes we bring in maybe somebody who's an expert in the health field or in a spiritual practitioner field. But most of the time, it's actually men assisting each other.
Yeah.
So that brotherhood is very important because, you know, when a man asks, how do I stop cheating? You know how to stop
What
cheating.
do they say?
You know what I mean? Exactly. But you also need to ask it because you feel you've tried, you feel you tried to, but you just don't know how to get out of a habit. But now there's another brother who will give you some guidance on how he maybe stopped with a certain problem. And that is very powerful. As men, we often look to each other for guidance. And men who are perceived to have some power and some self-discipline, we look up to them. But we don't always know if it's okay to ask, how did you become this type of man, or why do you do it this way?
Or sometimes they're just powerful on the external. They don't
That's also
really
true.
they don't really have anything else to offer. And then the question is then how do you deal with that disappointment because you really looked up to them. Because I mean, in this age of Google and information age that you mentioned, it's not like everybody is sitting there and Googling and trying to find the answers. Because I'm struggling with how men are responding to, let's say in the South African context, to gender-based violence.
Sure.
A big conversation that's currently in the discourse is concerned.
Yeah.
The question around concern and how they're responding to it, or I have a lot of we have a lot of males coming on the show as guests.
Sure.
Whether they're a rapper or a businessman.
Right.
I feel that I should have a conversation with
Yep.
them about
Each and
each and all those things that are happening in the public discourse.
True.
And then they're like, but I'm here to talk about my business.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you're not just a
Exactly.
business person.
That's
You're
right.
you're a father,
Yeah.
you're a husband, you're a brother,
True.
you're someone who has influence on another man. We need to get another dimension of you.
Exactly.
And then for me, closing the gap on gender equality is about that. Is that I need men that come across me
Yeah.
to show their emotions
Exactly.
and to show their understanding of issues. Otherwise, the gap will remain because
Absolutely.
I'll only see them as a rapper, as a businessman, as this successful person. But what kind of a father are
Exactly.
they? What kind of a friend are they?
One question that I really love to ask men is, how do you think you would have taken a stand on the issues we see in our society right now if
Yes.
you were born a woman?
Yeah.
If you had the experience
Oh,
of
I'm going to
walking-
use that question a lot.
walking this life
If
as
you
a
were
woman,
a woman,
maybe
yeah.
having similar personal interests and things like that, but being a woman,
Yeah.
how would your life be different? And especially when men say, feminism is nonsense, feminism is toxic.
Yeah.
And of course, there are very toxic elements of feminism as well.
Yes.
But I know for a fact that if I was born a woman, I would have considered feminism for a long part of my life.
Mm.
Because for the first time as a woman, I would have seen that, wow, there's a theory that actually talks about my experience. What I normally talk about and as is laughed about is validated. I would have checked that.
Mm.
I hope I wouldn't have grown into the toxic elements of it, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
that if I can put my mind into that experience, maybe I also see the world slightly different.
But obviously, I think if you're not reflective and true to yourself on any subject, you can become toxic about it. So it's so the question of it is, I mean, as much as this toxic masculinity, there can be toxic femininity,
Yeah.
and we need to have that conversation because
Exactly.
because
We can't just Google it one box
we can't
and
Google-
never really-
But also we can be too extreme.
True.
On both sides. So we need to have that conversation. So news is coming through in a short while. Zanet's going to give us a news update, of course, at 8:30, and then we'll get a traffic update. Oh my God, I need a song for this morning. What is my song at 8:35? Stick around to find out when that happens right here on the show. And we'll continue our conversation with Baba Buntu. We're unpacking contemporary manhood. What does it mean to be an African man in the 21st century? But more than anything else, living with these contemporary women who have an answer and questions and opinions for everything.
Sure.
Kuzosetshenziswa uhlelo lesigaba sokuqala namhlanje sokucinywa kogesi kusho inkampani ephehla umdanso wogesi yakwa-Eskom, kanti-ke iNingizimu Afrika iyanxuswa ukuthi-ke ibeke phansi amaphaphu mandela imibiko ukuthi sekunabantu abathathu abanesifo esibizwa nge-coronavirus kuleli. Sothi-ke makumbalile eshagalolweni yehora ngibuye nalezi zinto.
I wanted to give you a song. Hold on. I love that song.
All right, Brad Jerry. Yes, what's up, Brad Jerry? You still having a good day because Chiefs lost? So, what are you going to give me?
Let him. Because we're still fighting the fight. The women are still fighting the fight, the big fight. We're getting there, but we're still fighting the fight as women. I just love the
What other song speaks about change that's not let them win? We will tune out. Stay here. Other songs are in the 80s. Huh?
All those songs are in the 80s.
No, there must be a change of song. That's not.
Full moon.
Massive Metro celebrates human rights.
Why do I have a sports break there?
Political rights.
Every citizen has the right to form a political party, to participate in
What is Human Rights Month?
members of a political party,
It's not meant
and
to be
to
now.
campaign
Closing.
for
Keep
political
closing.
cause.
Yeah, there.
What do I do? Stop it.
Yeah. Then we're going to.
Okay, play it. Okay, because it's the full moon, the goddess in me is paying attention, so that's why I'm playing this song. The 9th of March, the full moon comes full circle. That's my song for today. Whatever that is.
Werewolf.
Yeah, I am a werewolf.
I'm a hybrid, so. Yeah, vampire, they werewolf.
You turned around and looked at me. You must have somehow felt something tells me you're the kind of guy I'd like to get to know.
You know, you are obliged to bring us fruits for our walk, right? I just forgot to tell you. For your sake, I hope you have a fruit today.
The pressure.
Could you be visiting or are you
Hey, vegetariana. Ulingisa wena, usisedito, diloke.
Old school gang.
2 chains, 4 bracelets. Marele kwaile. Shit.
Where's the leg bracelet? You usually have a leg bracelet.
Atinya litho, bejana Jackson meeting. Ngabona hiyo tu.
Sana kusinya.
He died. Like, look at his eyes. Like those people that you never expect to see. Oh baby, you better finish the lyric.
Hey,
I finished everything. And no estaba encima, no me hacía, dime no. Sabotage now.
Okay, I don't know about you guys. Things in my life happen, and things happen to me when it's a full moon. So I'm here to learn to observe the full moon and understand my cycles and be in tune with myself, because I never want to miss a beat about the full moon. That's how I've made sure that I'm a contemporary African woman who knows her things. But Mabut is looking at me like, yeah?
No, I'm just Viva.
Yeah? You're saying Viva to me?
Yes.
Hey guys, the full moon. It used to drive me crazy. So now I know if it's a full moon, I must manage myself.
Right.
So it's a full moon on the 9th of March. The Virgo full moon on Monday, March the 9th, has a generally positive influence, but there are some potential challenges to be aware of. You will thank me later, Kamo and Chulu, and all of you girls who are listening. The full moon opposite Neptune can increase your emotional sensitivity so much that you could become confused about your own feelings and misunderstand others. You could also give the wrong impression to others. The rest you must go read for yourself. There you have it.
To the water.
Yeah. So that's for me. It's as basic as that. If the man who's in my life needs to understand my cycle,
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
literally.
Absolutely.
You know. Do you agree?
Of course.
Because
Definitely.
I don't want to be like if I'm not feeling myself, I'm saying I'm not feeling myself. He must catch that. Oh yeah, you know. And then when I'm like, yay, come here.
Exactly. That's what it is.
He must understand too.
And the nuances.
The nuances between.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, how are you with a girl? You don't even know when they go on their periods.
Exactly.
You're just like randomly.
No, it's essential.
It's essential. And our grandfathers used to know that.
Yeah, true. I think, I don't know where this even comes from, that everything around the cycle has been so
taboo and dirty and
just,
yeah.
It's like, it's an awkward conversation now.
No, we need to have that.
Maybe we also lost the language of talking about it because, you know, we used to come from scripts where we had coded language, so we could speak in front of our children about things we don't really want them to fully understand, but get a small hint of that. Okay, when I get to a certain age, I need to understand this.
That's another conversation that we need to have. Maybe indigenous knowledge helping us navigate, because there's a course of society that's saying that all this confusion that we're dealing with around African women and African men, if we want to contextualize it like that, as much as yes, we are progressive and we understand feminism and all these things, is we must always also ask ourselves, before Western information came into our life, how did we navigate this?
Exactly. And you know what, this is Penny, what I find very interesting is that when I research what in the women, that's not where we come from.
No.
We always had cultures and understandings of women having a very high rank in our society. And our role as men was to not just allow, but to embrace and to support women to come into their fullest sense of self. And only then could we have our role as men as well. Now we've twisted it around.
Because they also the women came with a sense of wisdom that men they knew that they needed it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like there was a need. There was a yearning that they were like, oh my goodness, if I don't have the wisdom of the woman, I'm a mess.
You know what? It just comes into my mind now. I was mentioning that I was in Uganda earlier this year, and in one of my talks, I talked about saying that because one thing I've noticed in East African society is that often girls and women have very toned down way of talking, to the point that it's awkward. So I would say, "Oh, how are you? What's your name?" What are you saying?
Say it loud.
It's like, what? I can't hear your name. What are you saying? And then I use that as a reference to say that women, your role is not to be at the back. And then some looked at me like I was saying something very strange, and one raised their hand and said, "This is the first time I heard that women are not supposed to be at the back." Because we have church saying that, we have culture to a certain extent. We rephrase it, having that it says that. We grow up in homes where that is said as well. In South Africa, maybe we've gotten a little bit past that, but it's not like it's resolved at all. And I think that is so sad that you grow up thinking that since I'm a woman, I mustn't talk, I mustn't be clever, I mustn't say something to provoke my partner, my husband. I must always be at the back. And that is my role. That is not a power space.
So you can imagine what my life has been like, because I had an opinion the minute I was born. Actually, so I had an opinion as a fetus. I probably said to my mother, "Listen, this is the date that I'd like to be born. It's time for you." Like, I mean, this is where I want to be born. And you're right that in society, like I was telling them earlier on, okay, listeners and we, I attended this Women's Day event, and they had a different panel. They had the minister in the presidency for women. They had Melissa Fakuri, a businesswoman. They had the head of COSATU, who is a woman. And they had this lady, the white lady, who's a coach. She's an Afrikaans name. I feel so bad. I must find it so I can give it context of who her name was. And she is a coach, right? And she made mention of her book, about coaching. And the question that was asked was like, women leading in the current times. And she made reference to how, women need to take into cognizance that, men have not come to terms to women being in charge and all of that, and how they need to apply tact in the boardroom and all of that. Okay, Miss Nolita Fagude reference to her book about, the ballroom in the boardroom. It's like a dance. You need to know that the tango that today we're doing, the tango tomorrow we're doing. And women on the floor were like, hey.
Don't bring that here.
Yeah, we are tired. You see, we can do this little dance, but we need to know which dances your expertise is. Is this guy, you just pantula? Fine, I'll beat you on it. Oh, you're a tango expert. What is that? Spanish. I'm not Spanish. Can we find a Sotho dance to bring in the conversation? And then the white lady was talking, and then it's unfortunate that I'm gonna have to reference her to the white lady because and it was almost as if everybody said, "Oh my God, we need to be like a white woman to get ahead."
You see? Yeah, true.
That was crazy.
And that is a message.
It's a message.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming back with Baba Wunti and we're wrapping things up right after this to stay with us.
Maniki Malabo and
I have to find
Richard bringing nourishment for the soul.
It was literally, that's what it boiled down to. It said, if you want to be a success in the body,
But like a white woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like if you are in a supermarket
yeah.
and you want to get the best service, you need to channel a middle-aged white woman.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing else.
True.
What is it?
And that's why I hate dealing with cashiers. Like I will always try and go with someone to the shop and let them pay. I don't deal with them because I'm going to punch you.
Exactly.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. So you must basically say,
I even my mom. I'll even my friend.
come on. Please pass me the Windex. That's what you must say.
Yeah, Lisa with big.
You know.
Please, you obviously know what I'm saying. Please.
Yeah, they sit there.
You do your own translation.
They're like, no, you need to. I was like, whoa. I mean, I want to read her book. I made notes. Where did I make notes? I put in my bag. I was.
But almost everywhere, even in school, like you're constantly having to channel some sort of white woman. In school,
but this is the thing.
you channel the white girl with the perfect pony.
Yeah.
That's why I remember I said to you, you all walked a specific way because that's how the white girls, they have this little bounce.
Yeah.
And that's a reflection of confidence.
But I think it's the same for men. If you think about the leadership ideals that we subscribe to, it's to kind of be the white man. It's to kind of talk and get the effect that we've seen white men get. So there's something similar there.
But I think it's to me it's okay. I feel like it's a phase you go through, and I've been lucky enough to grow out of it.
Find yourself.
Because
so
now I'm gonna speak as loud as I want.
Right.
Does it bother you? Bitch, get out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you grow out of it, but I think a big responsibility of you growing out of it relies on your upbringing. Because if that was wrong, you never grow out of it.
Seen projected to you.
Yeah.
Because when you've never seen women or men act in a way that you can actually identify with,
it doesn't
you're not
have,
even sure if
it
that's
doesn't have their
possible.
names. So the conversation was women leadership in challenging times. Yeah, I'm trying to find the speakers. So I was like, no,
And then this comes up. Then the parity.
Oh, here they are. I found here. Oh, I have to find this because I need to get this woman's book. But I was like, I can't.
Bana. How about you say that it's a condom?
Gender parity in the workplace. So yeah, here's my thing. I didn't go to a white school. So from day one, I was just not interested in what white people have got to say. But I didn't know that they're being racist.
Yeah.
So my dad was just, my parents let me be. So my dad was not that stern man. So I was just like, I talk to guys the way I want to talk to them.
Yeah, up close.
I'm like,
yeah.
Because my dad was not.
Yeah, my dad.
So I don't have that thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, but I want to take get a king here. Why do I need it? I'm telling you what I think right now.
That's a challenge for me right now. Like men are just like, why are you so angry? I say your mom is angry. She's angry because she could never speak the way I'm speaking.
Yeah, I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I'm not angry.
Exactly.
I'm not.
I'm just meeting you at your level.
That's right.
And that's uncomfortable for
and
you.
Men don't know
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
When a problem. Okay, I can't find that. I hate this.
What?
When I can't find people's names.
What? Relax. I told
It's
you.
me.
It's you. You need to breathe. Take a second. Think about it. Ding.
No, because now I know that if I find their program, her name will be on the program. Then I can get her name. So that's what's driving me crazy. Because I found the oh, maybe
Did you find the birthday
maybe
thing
they
that
sent
you're
me-
looking for?
Yeah, I did. Maybe they sent me.
What did I tell you? Just calm down.
Which birthday thing?
The one that you were freaking out about.
When?
Like, I hate it when I put something here and then I can't. And
No, I couldn't find it. I let
It's
go.
still there.
It's not there.
Unless you didn't save it.
Which I don't understand how.
Okay, let's wrap up.
Sorry.
All right, it's Massive Metro in the morning. It's called Mtande. Mass Music, Ricky Rick, Shasha, DJ Maporis are right here in Massive Metro. 13 to go before the hour. At 9 o'clock, that's when we wrap things up. So it's an extended version. We'll do this once a month. You're going to be coming through. But I wanted to have this conversation with us in studio, right?
That's right.
Okay, so questions. So we spoke about how one of the questions that they're asking themselves is, how can I be this, or how can I live up to? Okay, so that might be like a matured man, but you also have a program that deals with younger men.
Definitely.
So this is before the perceptions are entrenched. This is before what they see their fathers, who their fathers are and how they behave, become fully shaped in that.
That's right.
That's a very crucial place.
Very crucial place, but we're talking about teenage boys, and I know that there's a lot of frustrated parents out there who say, I tried to get through to my boy, I tried to have this conversation with my boy, and he's not really saying anything, or he's just kind of copying what he's heard on the street corner. And I think a lot of young men do that because they don't know exactly where to draw their opinions from, and it's an age of insecurity, it's an age of where so many things are happening with their body, with their perception of the world, how they're seen, how they're treated. And they need to be good in school. They need to do so many things and also shape up a career plan for their life. So it's a lot going on. I think it's very important to get into conversation with men. But this is my advice, especially to teenage parents, that you can't always sit a teenager down and say, what is your opinion about 1, 2, 3, 4, and then expect a very straight answer, because many teenagers don't process the information that way. So you need to, for instance, when you want to ask, do you have a girlfriend, what's going on, like all those questions that you're actually scared to ask. But when you finally find the courage to ask it, the teenagers staying back and just say, why are you asking such questions? Like, I don't know, and you just go to their room.
But you also can't just start today because there's a crisis and have that conversation.
That's right.
You need to almost over time to say you have an open conversation.
True.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is that you need to have, or I would suggest that you have conversations linked to an activity.
Okay.
So you clean up the shed, you do something in the garden, you do something together, and then kind of casually you come in. Because many teenagers feel very naked when you look at them and say, what did you do? What is this going on? Are you doing such and such? And they would immediately go to a place of defense or lie or just get out of the situation.
That just sounds like a man. That sounds like a man. He's a teenager.
Okay now.
Sounds like a man. Weird. Okay. Anyway, Baba Buntu, I need to go for a quick break so I don't get into trouble with my ads, and then when we come back, we can really, really close it off properly.
Because
there's that thing that you can be stuck in an age.
Exactly, I was going to say
that they are.
True, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
You need to oh gosh. He's stuck there. He doesn't come out of it.
It's true. It's true. No, and many men are stuck in that phase. Definitely.
I'm very conscious of that, of like in terms of like how I talk to my son, because I don't want him to be stuck in that phase.
Exactly. You want to expect more.
Yeah. Because I think that's when it's entrenched now. It's like what you do now, you're setting the template. And it's so interesting how the people who have influence on you, it's like the way my mother treats my brother, he can be stuck there with her.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
he it's like that. Right. And then it will reveal itself. I think that stuff will come out obviously like in relationships and all that.
No, sure.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But it is a very critical age. If you give up on your teenager, that person, he doesn't want to talk, then you just go.
He's gone.
He can be gone forever.
And then later on, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's where I left it.
That's right.
Oh gosh. I wanted to wrap up because then it's a throw forward. But anyway. All right, Baba Buntu. We're done.
Sure. Done.
No, we just need to close it off because now this one.
So then we're gonna close it up, then to entertain you quickly. It's gonna be tight.
It's too tight. It's not gonna work. Because now there's even a throw forward. Which is this one. You have problems. I have problems right now. Oh Lord have mercy. What am I gonna do? I'm alright. Okay, I'll save it for tomorrow. But then I won't do the list tomorrow. Because I hate compiling work and then I don't do it. So I'll wait for tomorrow. Maybe the time at 7:40. What's it? I'll never forget. Oh yeah, I still have video. It's Morgan Trainer right here on Massive Metro in the morning. So I want to wrap up with Baba Buntu officially, but I also just need to give you an update of what's coming through on Massive Uncapped. Hashtag Massive Mornings brought to you by Whitbix. So let's do this quick with Maloya. Maloya, what's up? I'm good. What's coming through after 9 on Massive Uncapped?
Okay, namhlanje since Monday sisibheni we having a power guest uGugu Moledi. Yes, it's Moledi. So i-foundation yabo nasisipini into abayenzayo badila ngamantombazana bantwana bamantombazana understand ama-sanitary pads izinto ezinjalo ama-offense and the girl is spoken isikhuluma nge-justice then went on the streets with uNkulu Babalolo 940 so it's like
all right. Sounds like a lot of fun. Are you running solo?
Yeah, no, one over months.
Okay, awesome stuff. There you have it, Massive Uncapped on the other side of 9 o'clock, all the way until 11 right here on a Massive Metro. Okay, so Baba Buntu, let's see Vale officially because already I'm in trouble. So how do people get in touch with you?
Well, they can use the handle Dr. Baba Buntu on most social media channels. And then they will also find ways to write us. They can write us on info@ebukosini-solutions.co.za. And we may not have solutions to everything, but we have a broad network. So if you bring up something that we're not really qualified to do with, we can refer you to others. And I'm just a general message I want to give out there, men and women, of course. But since we talk a lot about men, a lot of men seek help for whatever they're dealing with very late in the process, at the point where there's almost very, very difficult, if not impossible.
Gambling problem, alcohol problem, sex problem, physical abuse problem, children abuse problem, sex addiction problem, cheating excessively, not dealing with your emotions, all of those things.
All of them.
And they're problematic.
So men must learn to seek help earlier because there is this voice inside men's head, and I know it from my own experience that I said, I'm going to find out, I'm going to work on it. And you know, when you think about something enough in your mind, you think you're actually working on it, but you fail to actually take a step away from yourself to say, am I really progressing? Am I different now than I was 3, 6, 9 months ago? Maybe you're not, maybe you're actually worse. So seek help in time.
Oh, there you have it. Massive Mornings, we're going to have to leave it at that. Come on, Moth. You promised us a double dose tomorrow. No, you're staying too far from the mic today. There you are. Hi, what's up? Hey, girl! Okay, so Kama is not interested in talking to me today, and Chulu, you know why? Because Thuso Mutaung was in studio, right? So they grew up, they're from Bloemfontein, and he's from Bloemfontein, so they grew up listening to him, and their mothers listened to Thuso, so they just they've gone. They drove back to Bloemfontein. They're physically here, but they're not here. Not really because in Bloemfontein, they're heroes today.
I can see that.
Yeah, they called home, they told all their friends, they posted pictures. Everybody's like, woo! They look at Thuso Mutaung. Yeah, now they believe you that you guys really do things that you say you do. Because you make Thuso Mutaung. Because all along they're like, give a man back to mouth. No pay me. I'm sure company na party. I will show what savings I can need. So I'm happy with that. Woo, guys.
All right.
Thank you so
Another
much.
one down.
What's up?
Come on, do you know who I'm recording with?
Who you're recording with?
Yeah, that's it.
That's KG.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Thank you so much. So I'll talk to you.
Sure. Always a pleasure. So we'll talk to you.
Yes, please. Yeah, we'll talk to you.
That's why you must post something. Because when
I
you
will-
post
I will-
something,
No, was there another message? Actually, the only message I have
You don't have a message about.
reset. So let's say
Are you serious? Are you part of the group? Because I asked Mangala to set up a group with all the parents. So I will ask him to add you because.
all the things.
No, you'll get a message today. I'm sorry about that. All right. Take care.
Yeah, because then sometimes I'll see like those things really well, and then there's like 2 years, but they like 38 weeks, and then they go to 50 by the end of the week. That's a bad idea. When they get us to go to 100. So just stop your
That woman looks like a doll. Did you hear? Hello? Not this one.
I took like culture
Oh my-
appropriation. Huh? What culture appropriation? I still look for
Oh, kill it color.
I think they attacked that girl for wearing that Indian ensemble, the Native American thing. Did you see it again?
That woman.
I haven't seen it. They attacked that. No, I
Yeah.
got the
Kill it color.
So she had